The National Sports Council started demanding for the letter. Are you a member of FIFA? You're not. They're not members of FIFA. It's FAS. And the letters have come out. So who has looked foolish now? Because they thought FAS were hiding something behind their back. And the official communication has come out. The letters are out there for each one of us to go through and understand. And the beauty with FIFA.
Tune in to the Flava FM Football Show for the latest local, African and international football news.
Pius, if you look at Zambian football critically, very, very critically, after winning the AFCON, we went into the second attempt and did we win a single game? No. The slump started then. Yo, Kamanga this, Kamanga that, Kamanga. We from the time we hit a slump, we have not recovered.
You know, this is quite
it's sad.
Oxymoronic, should I say?
Yeah.
Precisely. I like that word.
In why I say it's oxymoronic is the Zambia has been booted out of the AFCON, but many people seem to have a great hope, even from the messages which I read earlier. People
Pius, going like I said, going forward.
This booting out has actually left many people positive.
The Flava FM Football Show, 90 minutes of nothing but football.
Flava FM, Kopala's most loved radio station. Good evening to you, and welcome to the Flava FM Football Show. My name is Pius Mambo Jr., and I'm your host this evening, as usual. And we are talking football, nothing but football, for 90 minutes plus extra time. And we are rolling. Plenty of football to talk about on the show. Remember, we are live on 87.7 on the Copperbelt, 96.9 in Lusaka, 92.1 in Solwezi, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and it's basically TV. You can just choose where you want to watch, and you pick us up. And you can be with us throughout the show. Okay, plenty to talk about, like I said, but in the meantime, let me introduce my very able panelists and guests in the studio with me. Mr. Arthur Lwando, good evening, Arthur. How are you today?
Super blessed, thanks. And how are you doing?
Super blessed. I think I need to start using that word. Sometimes I just say, no, I'm blessed.
Don't
But
doubt.
I think super,
Don't doubt.
yes, exactly. Good to see that you are super blessed.
It's always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, good to have you.
At 12 years and counting.
Yes, 12 years and counting.
Wow.
Very, very, very true.
Yes.
Years are rolling by.
Good evening, Machadi.
Thank you so much, Pius.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of football to talk about. And the remaining games is everything for the teams.
Now it's touch and go.
It's touch and go. Don't move a muscle. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes. And also in the studio is Mr. Christopher Kalota. How are you, Chris?
Oh, I'm great. Great to be on the show. Jesus is Lord.
Jesus is Lord. Amen. Bola na lesa.
Amen.
Yes. Yeah. Juju doesn't stop coming up. Even this week, it's come up again. People are using towels. But for me, I think big congratulations to the Shipolo Polo. What's the official name? Is it Copper Queens or Shipolo Polo?
Shipolo Polo.
Copper Queens.
Charlie.
I think the actual tag which they normally use is Shipolo Polo.
Shipolo Polo.
Shipolo Polo.
A female
Then
bullet.
When you talk about the corporate arrangement, they normally use Copper Queens.
Yes.
When you're talking about now corporate image for our girls.
Yes. All right. No, actually, I think that is
well said.
a fair assessment. That is more accurate with regards to
real bullets. The boys are blanks.
the boys are black. Only the girls are
And
bullets.
the boys are blanks.
The boys are blanks. The girls are real bullets.
Firing in the air.
Let me ask a question just before I start reading messages, and of course we'll come and talk about the football side of it. But and I was even laughing, though this is not what I want to ask. That when the guys do badly, ni Kamanga, but when the girls do well, nobody says Kamanga is doing well with the girls. But talking about doing well, if I may start on this side, Charlie. What is? Have you noticed the last 5 years or so, our level of female football has kind of gone up? What do you attribute that to?
A lot of talking points, Pius. I think, truth be told, point number one, let's give credit to the Football Association of Zambia for actually implementing that program, which was started by FIFA. FIFA has money which has been set aside specifically for women's football. And the Football Association of Zambia was able to roll out a vigorous program.
Yes.
And many teams took it very, very seriously. Talk about Lusaka Dynamos, talk about Zanaco, Zesco. They have the girls team. The only teams that I think have lagged behind is teams like Power Dynamos. But most of the teams came up with this vigorous program. So credit must go to the Football Association of Zambia for implementing that FIFA program, and it has worked out very well. And results have not come by accident. They have earned those results, and it's nice that the girls have taken up this football as a career. Look at how many contracts they are signing. Just yesterday, Belemu signed a contract in China for 2 years. It's a career now.
Yes.
And it's nice that they are taking it very, very serious. And teams that have not come up with a girls team, it's time that they came up with their girls team. A typical example is Power Dynamos. But for Zesco United, Indeni, it's a pity that there's a bit of shake-up in terms of Indeni Roses. Sponsorship is hanging.
And that's a good team.
It's a good team.
A very good team.
And it has contributed many
So much.
players to. I hope that it can be across the country. Talk about teams in Kumawa, talk about teams in the south, so that we have a balanced approach to girls football.
Okay.
First,
Any addition,
first,
Chris?
the other advantage that you need to understand about football is that how many years has Bruce Mwape been with those girls?
Actually, he's been there for a while now at the helm.
So it's about football.
It's about consistency.
Consistency and long term. Look at
Yes.
Senegal and the Zambian football when it comes to women. There's a lot of investment that has been done. Just one coach.
Yeah.
So changing coaches sometimes is never really a solution.
Yeah.
Give people enough time. And look at Bruce, he's delivered.
Yeah.
From nothing, no league.
Olympics.
He's achieved.
And we're talking about now AFCON. Isn't this our second AFCON?
Fourth now.
Fourth.
Yeah, this is going to be our fourth qualification.
I mean, what about under Bruce?
Under Bruce, it could be
Second one.
Under
Yes.
Bruce, second, yes.
Under Bruce, second.
So
Yeah.
consistency is the key. Is key to a lot of delivery. Pius.
Yeah.
He understands the players. They understand him. They know what he likes, what he doesn't like, what he puts in, and how they are acclimatized to his coaching. So he'll continue growing until he just says, "Okay, I'm tired."
Yeah. Okay. Anything to add, Chris, before we move?
Yeah, look, for me, I think it's the dexterity of the whole picture,
Yes.
how it comes about. What is it? It's a vision, like Arthur and Bachari have said. It's a vision and the objective. You've got a coach who has objectives and vision, and he's worked towards those vision, towards the vision and the objective. And that's why, when you have a mature coach who's able to bring in everybody, and is a fatherly figure, believe you me, you can produce very, very good results. So for me, it's about they've given him a long-term contract, and not a long-term contract only that, but I think they believe in him. Once you believe in somebody and you say, look, we'll give you everything at your disposal, do what you can, and he's delivered.
Exactly. No, he's done some great work, I think, with the girls. Yeah, he must be congratulated, and I mean, now and even when they started this qualification series, to tell the truth, I didn't have any doubt that we could make it. I would have been shocked if we didn't make it, because now it's like the girls have reached a level where they are now confident. They are getting to. Remember how South Africa used to beat us?
Yes,
no turning
that's
back.
What I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
South Africa was a powerhouse when it comes to women football.
Yes.
But look at they're nowhere near us.
Yeah. So
They are near. Somebody will argue and say, when you bash them 3-0, it's because most of their professional players were not there.
But we beat South Africa. That's the point.
we didn't beat South Africa B. We beat South Africa. They didn't say it. No, we're going to send B. They said that.
All in all, I think the Zambian girls have done very, very well. What's really amazing is what amazes me so much is the short period, the time frame, how they've developed their skills and how they've come to the fore. It just amazes me. And this is what we feel when it comes on the men's side.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the problem is.
Okay, so I think let me very quickly read a few messages. This message here says, "Good evening, men of football. I hope you are doing well. You people, I watched Zesco on Saturday. In the first 30 minutes, it was like Barcelona. Sikombe, and that Kenyan, he goes, he. I don't know why Zesco is losing same games. To me, it was my wonderful Zambian game. But my Team K, Warriors, I don't know now. Vatembo, your comment. Greetings to you, famous Nkana supporter, Pastor Ngoma from Lusaka. And today I want to say, Zega Mambo fans going to be saying, Numba must go.
Fire.
But okay, they probably will. On that one, they've been quite consistent. Yeah. But it was a game. It was a very, very good game to watch. A good, we like to say, good advert for Zambian football.
Yes.
Watch out and prepare yourselves adequately. Kansanshi Dynamos, Leeds United, and Chelsea. We are Reds for danger. We never worry and fear opponents, whether lose or win. Then Vazanako Naimwe. Stop ashaming Zambians. And Zambian's name. Please, it is a cardinal. Work on your midfield, because last game against Pyramids, you lost it in the midfield. Genius Elias from Riverside in Kana and Liverpool forever. Good evening, Arthur, Charlie, and Chris. Please tell Zesco fans about patience for Numba. Good evening, Flava. Is there a limit to the number of personnel who are allowed on the bench? I remember Chintu used to accompany the national team, an older man. Please talk about the Tao in the Red Arrows game. Jedediah Micah from Solwezi. We'll come and tackle it. Don't worry, the Tao is coming. Yeah. Good evening, panel. In the case of Mason Greenwood, what is the club supposed to do? Aren't they supposed to show support? Because we heard that fellow players are unfollowing him on Instagram. This is Patson. Simple answer. Eh?
No, pass. Integrity is end.
Yeah.
He lost his integrity, and he should not put the team's reputation in disrepute.
Yeah.
So likewise, the players have just done the right thing.
Yeah.
He's not of good standing, so why should they associate with him?
Yeah.
It's by choice. When you're a professional, Pius, even if you're not a professional, just in life in general, a good standing is very, very critical, especially issues of sexuality. You know,
the charges are sexual assault and assault. So on that one, especially that culture there, it's frowned upon big time. Big time.
His failure past to handle stardom, I think, has done a lot of disservice to Greenwood.
Yeah.
I know he blossomed into a star very, very early, but he was supposed to handle that stardom.
Yeah.
And for him to start doing what he did, I think Manchester United has done the right thing. Let the due course of the law.
Yes, let the Lord take its course.
Yes.
You know, I remember one thing in England about just about something like 12, 14 years ago. There was a Zambian player who was actually there, and he ended up, doing some funny things, and he thought he would get away because he was playing in the lower league, the Sunday Hayward League. But law is law, and it caught up with him. And by then, there were some clubs that were interested in him, but he eventually found himself on the other side. So, you can't run away from that. It's all about discipline. And this is what we tell these youngsters.
You remember how many Zambians were at the team in Finland? And there were six.
There were six.
Six Zambians at what's the name of that?
Ropes
FC. All of them convicted of match fixing. Now imagine if Zambians we started saying, hey, let's support that. Ropes couldn't even support the players because they were doing a wrong thing. They were compromising the results of the greater team, should I say.
And 6 was a big number.
Yes, 6 is huge. And all of them Zambians.
And one Zambian coach, for that matter, was also implicated in the same case.
In the same case.
Yes.
Same case.
So some of these matters, it's better the teams step back and they let the law handle it.
But it starts from somewhere.
Yeah. Good evening, panel. It is always beautiful listening to the show. I think Faz should take keen interest and punish Red Arrows because of their conduct in the last few home games. If they are to win the league, they should win it clean, unlike with intimidation. I think there should be also a training of ball boys on their conduct, because we have seen ball boys misbehave not just at Red Arrows but elsewhere. The Nkana and Zesco game was so entertaining. It was like you are watching EPL. Pats on Kuchpata compound. Man United always. Thank you there again. Evening Soccer Gurus. Your football show is so addictive. Please continue with football analysis. God bless you all. This is J1 in Solwezi. Thank you, J1, all the way from Solwezi. Good evening, Soccer Gurus. Zesco Nkana was good. I think Zesco should give Numba time. He is still a young, talented coach. He is a long-term candidate for the national team coach. That's how England coach Southgate started. And look at England today. Juju is there. If you believe in it, even water can be Juju. Nyambe from Kamitondo, Solwezi.
Listen.
Yes.
It's, I'll tell you something. It's talk about Juju. It's what you believe. Okay? If you believe in something, even the Bible says it. If you believe in something, it will work for you. It's either it works for you or it doesn't. It is there. Juju is there. Whether it works or it doesn't work, but the fact it is there. And you can't argue against that. Juju is there. But we're not promoting it. No, it's not about, we're not promoting Juju here. What we're trying to do is, this is check reality. Juju is there.
The belief.
It's
a belief.
there, and it's in our African culture, and it's crept into football. So I think it is just, I think for on Oderman's side, he usually likes to qualify that, but its effectiveness on football and winning matches is not foolproof. Otherwise, an African team would have won the World Cup long time ago. Yeah. Unless we are saying the juju they're using in Europe and South America is stronger than... if they're also using juju.
No, the difference is those guys are more talented than we are.
Yes.
To improve your... If you are 2 years aka, exactly. You actually lose. Start looking for Arthur. Where is Arthur?
Yeah.
The player was playing.
What's disheartening is you have a coach who's got a C-class license or a B-class license, and there he goes. He gets the skin of a python, ties it right around the player's waist, and he believes in that and he encourages that. And look, what we're trying to do, we're trying to discourage a lot of teams that these things don't work. I recently had a pep talk with Mighty and Frey Wanderers players. I said, look, guys, if this thing really works, you would have won the league. You would still be in Premier Division. These things, they don't work in a way that don't work. So just believe in God and just believe in yourselves.
Yeah, of course. So I remember I was watching a clip of an interview just today of Cristiano Ronaldo. What's the secret to his success in football? And he says basically talent without hard work. It won't take you anywhere. So with the talent, you need to work hard. Exactly.
Look at what has happened to Hazard.
Yes.
Hazard is a player with immense potential, but he was failing to utilize his full potential. Ronaldo has utilized his full potential.
Yeah.
Hazard was supposed to be one of the big players in the world.
Hazard had one more. He had one more level to hit.
Exactly.
Going to Real Madrid. I don't believe he had hit his peak. He was supposed to hit his peak at Real Madrid, but it just didn't work.
So the way football is, sometimes movement is very positive. Actually, most movements are positive, because you're leaving a club where you are very comfortable. I'll give you an example of a player like Sate Sate. When Sate Sate came back from professional football, he needed to move away from Nkana, but he went back to comfort. That is what has affected his progress as a player. He needed to go where he's going to find a challenge. He needed to go to Zesco, Zanaco, where there's a challenge. But he came back and went home. Home where there's a lot of comfort. Even if he doesn't work hard, they'll still consider him. That's why the effects of the decision he made are being seen.
It's true. I support
He's
Arthur.
become an average player.
Yes.
That's true.
Very true.
You need to
Very, very
move.
true.
Look at Aubameyang. Have you looked at his play at Barcelona?
Exactly.
Alemaka. From the 18, he's proper pressure football that Aubameyang is playing.
Challenges
It's
are
a challenge.
very
Challenging.
It's challenges.
The challenge has
That's why
brought
you
him-
see Cristiano Ronaldo moving from one club to the other, because he's raised his bar. Yes. You have to raise your bar. You cannot be in a comfort zone. When you're in a comfort zone, all you're simply encouraging is status quo. And that's what has happened, like he has said to Sate Sate. Sate Sate needed to move. He's been there for too long. And that would have done him a very good thing.
Look at Bazo. If you compare Bazo's performance at Power Dynamos and Nkana, his performance at Nkana is better. Just that movement. Yeah. So even for Sate, if he needed to improve on his career, he needed to move. Moving now, I don't know what's going to happen now. It's a bit too late, but he can still move. It's never too late in football.
If I have to talk about the last decade, 2010 up to 2019, 2020, that period of 10 years, if you have to talk about probably the top 5 strikers during that time, Sate is one of them.
Yes.
He's one. You put him in the top 5.
Extremely prolific.
He
Listen,
was brilliant. Is it 3 years top?
But you
top-
look at
top
his
scorer?
graph right now, it's
first,
something else.
Talent is embedded. It's in you.
Yeah.
All he has to do is just rekindle his prowess. It's in him already. It's up to him.
Yeah,
For as long as he's comfortable, it will still remain sleeping.
yeah. Arthur, sometimes you talk sense, eh? Good evening, good evening, panelists.
That's shooting now. Huh?
Congratulations congratulations to your job, and we don't want experiments. Even he defended, and not he needed to find a small team. Zesco is too big for him. Even that schoolboy who handles the game. Okay, I think there's maybe, is it cut off from another message? Okay, I'll come back to it. Okay, let's get more messages here before we start talking about football. Evening, panelists. Congratulations, my team, Zesco United, for beating the noisemakers Nkana. What a game! As Prince Mukanda within Kitwe, Twatasha. Also, I'm Prince Mukanda. Twatasha, Liverpool, Barcelona, Zesco United for life. Then this one says, it's unfortunate we are still lacking a complete striker who can finish those chances we are creating. We are playing balls and we are playing balls. We ditch passing football. It's really paining to see Power Dynamos playing like that. Anyway, it's football from one gift known as Abayelo, Abalowelela, Ababusaka, Ababola, Kawama in Kitwe from Powerful Power Dynamo. Mr. Coach Sir Bamwenya Chipepo, please try to use Lamek Kafwaya in the midfield. The guy played well. After introducing him, he completely changed the game. Congratulations, Zega Mambo, for silencing the noisy neighbors in Ghana. Nkwazi, be careful. Power Dynamos is wounded. We want nothing but a win. Congratulations to our ladies. Though I never gave them a chance to qualify to the AFCON, looking at how they played at home. So I was hoping they will prepare well for the tournament, and hoping all the girls will be fit and present for the tournament. This is from Mr. 600 OG from Power for Life. Okay, I saw something for Arthur. Mr. Arthur, at times good spirit talks within you. Good advice.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Shooter sometimes. Yeah. Good evening, panel. Power Dynamos need to improve their recruitment policy and cast the net wide. How do we have a team without a proper striker? Our midfield also looks worn out and lacks creativity. I would like to know why Kafwaya hasn't been playing consistently. There's no name there. But we bought Brian Miller. Maybe we just need to be patient and give him time.
No, perhaps the professional football talk about patience.
Brian is around, but the last game he had a personal problem.
An engagement,
He couldn't be with the team. Very, very unfortunate.
But you see, me, that's why I probably I always get it wrong. Maybe my expectancy of players is so high, and I try to compare it with the players in Europe. You know, some of the flimsy reasons that these guys give, you can't entertain that. You've bought a player with so much money, and I may not know the whole reason behind it, but what I'm trying to generalize it. We need to set standards. You know, when he was brought into Power Dynamos, he's supposed to deliver. How long has he been there?
He's always having personal issues. Injury.
That's why you see. That's why even these coaches keep giving excuses, flimsy excuses, because we entertain that in Zambia.
And personally, I think let me speak
Issue
as
after
a
issue.
let me not
Because it's
speak.
been around for how many? 7 weeks?
I think he's missed about 4 games already.
Yeah,
So,
even 5 maybe.
Let me speak as a Power fan, not as an analyst. I think from the side of supporting Power Dynamos, I think the team needs to start adopting a system where they'll play without a natural number 9. Be like the way Barcelona once was. Be like the way Man City is playing now. They do not use a natural number 9, but they can still wire you 6-0 today. And I mean, that's the only way out. If we look at this thing of right now, we can't buy. Supposing Brian Miller is not available, right now we can't buy. So we just have to adopt a different system that will work. A system that will where you get the goal scorers from midfield coming in, and they have to take their chances. Somehow, somewhere, they have to take their chances.
I agree with you, Pass. And if you look at Power Dynamos, at a time when Larry Warrior left for Simba,
Yes.
there has not been, I would say, a good replacement to replace Larry Warrior. He brought that power flair. And in terms of strikers, there was player small in stature, Chunchu Meleki. What's his name is just running away. There was a player they got from Forest Rangers, small in stature, but you could bang in goals. Very, very good striker. And from that time, I think they have tried. You talked about Alex Ngonga. Tried his level best, but at Nkana is blossomed into a fully fledged striker. You know, he's more hungrier.
Yeah.
But after bringing in Brian Miller, there was a lot of hope. But again, because of injury and last week, he wasn't part of the team. That is where Pass, I agree with you that the midfielders should have stepped in now and play a type of system where you confuse your opponents. But in the last game, Power opted to play a 3-5-2 formation, which the players, I think, didn't understand very well. Godfrey Ngwenya had a poor day at the office. They got him out, I think, towards the end of the first half. Not too good for a team captain. They brought in Lame Kafwaya, looked a little bit rusty, tried to shake off the rustiness, but fans will still talk about an ultimate striker, which they didn't have. But in terms of formation, the coach was supposed to change the formation again from 3-5-2 to maybe 4-3-3, or better still 4-4-2.
It's better 4-4-2 because
4-4-2.
they can't adapt to that.
They can't adapt to that with the players. They had more midfielders.
Exactly.
They had Joshua Mutale, they had Ngwenya,
4-4-2
who failed to
work for
tick.
them.
So it's a system which confused the Power Dynamos players. And their bench was a little bit thin on that day in terms of substitutions. That is how come it took Chamanga to slot in that penalty, which brought them back But
Survival.
The system, I think,
Everyone beats Lusaka Dynamos. Then you feel to beat them.
the system confused the players.
That one I counted it as 3 points.
Yeah. It was
Yeah, and there are a lot of good models actually to look at the way teams are being built. One good example is Liverpool. Liverpool, I think, they don't have a prolific number 9, for example.
They just don't have a number 9.
The closest player to a number 9 they have is Firmino. And then maybe
Firmino is a number 10.
yes, but is the closest to a natural
Maybe
number
they
9,
should play the
and
Luis
maybe Origi as well.
Origi is a natural number 9.
But then they opt, for example, to leave Origi. Jota is not a number 9. Salah is not a number 9. Mane is not a number 9.
No.
But you find they will play Jota, Mane, Salah, and also Firmino as well. For example, that has been the combination which won the Champions League, which won the league, and banged in so many goals.
The player
So
I
it's
meant
just
to-
about finding the right combination of goal-scoring midfielders. It can work. I think that's the direction Power need to go.
The player I meant to talk about was Kelly's Mwaba.
Kelly Mwaba.
He was
Paymaster.
Paymaster.
He normally used to stick in the box.
Exactly.
Very
Very
deadly.
clever.
He was
Short,
a deadly finisher.
But finish.
Yeah.
Small in stature, but
Stature,
with a
very
huge
thin.
influence.
Yeah.
So Power, they need to look for maybe an ultimate striker with the Power Dynamos DNA
Yeah.
in terms of, but their
Distribution.
their recruitment has not been.
The recruitment
spot on.
policy has not been very
It
positive.
has not
Yeah.
been very spot on. We must agree on that.
No, we must
Yeah.
agree on
Because
that.
But one-
people actually complaining over even Aaron. Is that Aaron Katebe?
Aaron Katebe. Yeah, they are.
Yes,
they are
the new
complaining.
signing.
When
Yes.
signing. Has he played any football yet? As in full time. So
It's
maybe-
like you're doing a favor
yeah.
just for
So
players.
I feel maybe they're bringing Aaron for probably for leadership, that maturity and everything. Because
I do believe
Yeah.
Power are good enough for top 4. They're looking at the squad
listen,
now.
Pass, if-
They've got a good squad, a good coach. It's just making it
no,
come
they don't
together.
have a good squad. They have a good
No,
coach.
they've got a decent squad.
Pass. It's the same bad
Compared,
players.
no,
It's the
compared,
same- no.
compared.
On that one, pass, we're going to disagree.
No,
They don't.
No,
They have.
no, no.
They have.
Squad.
They have. They have.
Let
They
me
have an
say-
average coach.
No, they don't have a squad, for example, like
They have an
Zesco
average
United,
coach.
for
they've
example. But they've got a good enough squad to get the job done.
Because I'll tell you something, pass. If Power Dynamos, with current form, if they had recruited 2 good strikers and 1 midfielder, they could have been challenged for the league. That I can guarantee.
They are. They are. Agree with you.
Yeah. If
That
they
I
just
can
got 2
agree with
strikers
you.
and 1 midfielder, they don't have a midfielder who can deliver. There's no one who's able.
Joshua Mutare,
No, Joshua. This Linus Junior
Makwaza.
He's good for defensive only.
He plays
He
a
will never
defensive role.
give you a prolific pass.
No.
He's not dangerous in short. That's why if you notice, maybe he's only got 1 goal, if any, that is. You get my point. He's not dangerous going forward. What they need a midfielder who's going to be dangerous when there's movement.
Like Mutonga.
You get my point. That's why Power Dynamos are lacking. Trust me. That's why they need to replace the guys who have gone. They have not been replaced. The young man is good defensive wise, and when he gets the ball, he will never give a pass that is dangerous. I've never seen him give a dangerous pass. Maybe other people have.
No.
He's more defensive, and that is good for him. But what Power Dynamos need to do, they need to find someone who's going to support him.
In fact,
But you can't say Joshua is a midfielder. He's more attack
Because I've
minded.
noticed,
but he has to be
Yeah.
very,
What
very.
if
He has to be
plays
Joshua
very.
is number 10.
Because what
Material.
happens sometimes, I've
He has to be
noticed
very
with
offensive.
Power, though we are playing, sometimes we play close to the way our DNA, but a lot of sideways passing. And sideways passing doesn't take you forward
It
so
doesn't
much.
take you.
Yeah.
If you look at Power Dynamos play, if you look at that Bocatile guy, you have the ball and you pump it forward. They can't play that build-up football easily anymore because they don't have a number 8 who is able to do that.
Creative.
A creative number 8.
There are times when Joshua picks up the ball from
In the
the deep
midfield.
and runs with the ball, but the final third, he runs out of ideas on what to do with the
Stuck.
ball. He's a young player just coming up.
Yeah.
They need time to make him develop into a fine midfield player. So they need midfielders who can run with the ball, like the way this Nkana midfielder, is it Sakala was at one time.
Ruben Sakala.
Ruben
Sakala.
A midfielder who could run with the ball.
With the ball.
Run with it.
Exactly.
Cover a long
that
distance.
you attract
and provide a killer pass.
Exactly.
That is
Because
what
can you imagine
power is like.
if Joshua is able to receive the ball in the third half of the pitch with that energy, but he's collecting the ball in the below the half. By the time he's left kamwe itinu mulianisha to energy na tuponako. So like Charlie saying, if you build up to the third half of the pitch and give from there, trust me, it's explosion.
Okay, let me just read a few more, then we can kick off with some of the results that we have and analysis. The departure of Larry Wali and Benson Sakala has killed both the defensive and attacking midfield. I was about to talk about Benson Sakala as well, because we haven't really recovered. We've tried, but we haven't really recovered from the loss of Benson Sakala. Last year, one of the biggest reasons Power had the best defensive record in the country, despite not even in being in the top 4. Benson Sakala. And where is Alan Kamwanga Jr.? Has he left Power Dynamos? This is Sales in Muflira. All the best to Sabobo, who has gone to Barcelona FC for trials. Gabriel Mumba from Solwezi will come and touch this one later on. Good evening, my football updates. I am really enjoying the program. I want to ask, where is Benson Sakala? At Power Dynamos, we have a problem in the midfield. Shashipa Vayelo and Real Madrid fan. From now, yes, you're answering the question. Yes.
Benson Sakala is in Czech
Republic.
Czech Republic.
From now, I give you football, Pastor Arthur. You are a good football advisor. May God help you continue.
Amen.
Lamek Kafwaya is the man we want from you, Mr. Mwenya Chipepo. The guy played well after introducing him. Vankwazi, this coming Saturday, we need to beat this Nkwazi. Saga Dynamo's game, I see improvement. Joshua Mutale, too much holding of the ball. Godfrey Ngwenya is off home for the past 2 weeks.
Just the 3 games he's been on.
We want to win this Saturday. This is it's one gift again. Wapayas, where is Kennedy Mdenda? Ignatius Kawana Maposa. We talked about it actually.
He's retired, but he's a coach for the young Power. He's an assistant coach.
He actually played his last game in December. They're just the testimonial. This one says a certain team was beaten on Saturday. Thanks, Zega, for showing Vangana that they are not our friends. This is Gift Momba from Kakolo. Good evening, gentlemen of football. Is it true about the AFCON guys who are saying that they were not paid the prize money? And congratulations to the Shipolo Polo Copa Queens for qualifying to the AFCON for the women's tournament. It's a big achievement. And lastly, I don't know why Zanako is keeping Kaindu at Zanako. He's killing the vibe at the club, and I don't understand why they let go of Ernest Mbewe. Please, Kaindu must go. I am also very disappointed with Zanako's performance at home. Very shambolic football. We're definitely out. 2 losses. Let's try another time. Arthur Kale Benson Wawa Chongo from Chamboli, Zanako supporter, Chelsea diehard, and Real Madrid. I have a question. In the EPL, when a player gets more than 3 or 5 yellow cards, he will be suspended for the next game. While coming to our league, because I've seen players getting more than 7 yellow cards. One of the examples is Bazo, but I've never seen him get suspended. Why? Do we have different rules?
Yeah, FAs apply certain rules differently. It's not every Even look at the 5 players. The British have refused to do the 5 players, but other clubs
5 yellow cards.
5
Substitutions.
Oh, 5 substitutions.
Yeah.
Yes.
The rules are open, but it's an option. You can choose to use the 5 substitutions or you maintain the 3. They've chosen to maintain the 3.
Yeah.
Other leagues are still using 5. I think Spain they're using 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Other leagues have so
Even Champions League, they're still using 5.
Yeah. Even on yellow cards, it's about the FA. Yeah. What the referees association has agreed with the
Good evening, wise men. It's Wednesday again. I'm glued and enjoying the program. Congratulations, Vazesco, for electrocuting the noise in Makers Pachilata. Waftala alaimwena pa Saturday. Shembeya Joseph, honorable without a constituency within Kitwe, Racecourse Township, Zega Mambo FC, new bus, and a good win. Work well, Arthur and Pius. Today, where are the Nkana fans today? Nkana has got the Nkana fans send a lot of messages, but I'm only seeing Power and Zesco today. There's also Zanako today. Wanga in football is just psychology to the other side, especially for those who use it individually. It doesn't work. Imagine how many players we have across the country. By now, they would be pros. This one says, Juju is real. Mainly, it is not used to win games, but it is used mostly by individual players to have a successful career, especially in West African countries. In the Germany league, our only Bayern wins the league year in, year out. Is it so? Explain. I'm Chilufia Sanga, aka Chelsea, the champions, Pa Saint Anthony. Actually, I was thinking about this discrepancy in the Bundesliga. Have you noticed the other Bundesliga teams have weakened over the years? And for me, the only attribute I'm thinking they are using, it's like the other Bundesliga's teams are strengthening Bayern Munich. Because Bayern Munich right now is a super team, whether in the league or Champions League.
If they see a good talented player, they buy. Bayern Munich is always investing.
Yeah,
they're always investing. So for as long as they're always investing, they'll always stand out. And look at the quality of the young players that they have. You actually don't see them transition. They are just solid all the time.
I think the other attribute is their financial muscle. They keep bullying the smaller teams as per se. When there's a player coming up, immediately they snatch that player, rope him into their ranks. Their financial muscle is immense. This is why they even managed to bring in Coutinho. They even managed to bring in these other players that have made them very, very strong. Leipzig tried, Borussia Dortmund tried, but because of letting players go very often.
Easily.
Because Leipzig, they fell out of Champions League. Yes. Borussia Dortmund were beaten 4-2 by Rangers in Europa.
Imagine
Rangers.
They brought in the Manchester City left winger, Sane. So they have kept on strengthening their side, and they have a very good youth program. The other teams, they keep selling players, their best players.
Yeah.
Whereas Bayern, they hold on to their big players.
But you see, this has been there for ages, from a long time ago. If you remember Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, all those players, they were players who would actually be roped in, taken from a smaller club, roped in, and they'll build up. So Bayern Munich have a certain philosophy which they've stuck to for a very long time. For them, it's investment, like Arthur said, and then
but Chris, but in England it's different. You don't strengthen your rivals. It's like today, if it only happens once in a blue moon, like the way Arsenal, the Man United bought Van Persie. But Man United cannot go in and get Saka from Arsenal. They will refuse.
That's what I say. The philosophy is different.
Or to go and get De Bruyne.
Yes.
It can never happen. But look at what happened in Germany. The best defender last year, Upamecano from Leipzig, taken to Bayern. The coach for Leipzig taken to Bayern.
Bayern.
And where did Leipzig go? They by the time we were halfway in the league, Leipzig was number 10. They got the coach from Patson Daka's former coach.
Yes.
He actually resigned on
He
his own to
resigned
say
on his
that this thing, it's not working.
Yeah, because they were taking players away from him.
But now at least they've risen. They are back to number 3 with the new coach. But the thing is, they don't have a policy amongst themselves. I mean, it's not a must that you shouldn't strengthen your rival. But in England, it's an unwritten rule.
Can't move easily.
Exactly. And it's helped keep their clubs a bit strong. But in Germany, everybody strengthens Bayern Munich.
It's a policy as well.
Yeah. Okay, gentlemen. 1939. I think let's go quickly into results. Today we've spent a bit of time with a bit of discussion with the messages, but we'll come back to the messages later. I'll do my best to come back, especially some of these messages which I haven't read. I've still got 68 which I haven't read. No, actually no. 67. Okay. Just some of the results to take note of. In Solwezi, in Northwestern Province, there were some games which took place in Division 1. There was Zesco Solwezi versus Maheba. The game was abandoned, though Zesco Solwezi was leading 1-0. Police Doves 0, Solwezi United 0. Police Jets 4, APG Milling 0. Manyama Explosives 1, Young Kansanshi United 0. Solwezi Academy 3, Mufumbwe United 0. ZNS Mumbweji 1, Bresma United 0. Mufumbwe Marketeers 2, Mumpulumba 1, Spartans 2, Kasempa Police 0, Flying Stars 3, and Lumwana Heroes 0. Okay. Then let me just also touch. I've got some results from. Luapula Province, Division 1. We have Mansa Wanderers 3, Chimpembele Police 2, Bayotes Rangers 1, Kapab 2, Nchelenge Police 2. Police, everywhere they are starring, every province.
Police and Zesco.
And ZNS. And Mwansabombwe Jetters 4. Panado 2. Mwempia 0. Ntamba Mweru 1. Kawambwa Modern Stars 1. Samfia Rockets 0. Scorpion 2. Chembe United 0. Spark Riders 3. Mansa Health Stars 0. Bangoeulu 1. Zesco Luapula 4. Mansa Superstars 0. And I think I have the log table in also. Okay, I'll give the log tables very quickly. Okay, yes, I think yes. Let me just give the log tables for these two provinces. I'll just give the top 4. In Division 1, Northwestern Young Kansanshi United is top with 45 points. Mufumbwe Marketeers 2 with 41 points. Zesco Solwezi 3 with 37 points. Maheba 4 with 35 points. In Luapula Division 1, Mansa Wanderers is top of the table with 46 points. Zesco Luapula 40 points. Mwansabombwe Jetters 40 points. And Panado with number 4 with 35 points.
Still in contention.
So it's
making chloroquine.
yes, Panado are moving.
Number 4.
Yes.
In contention.
You'll just see another new team. You'll just see another new team saying COVID United.
It can be.
Especially Western Province.
Okay. Next, we have. We can go straight into Eden University.
I have results.
Vachali, please give us the results.
Okay. Results as at week 24, the Eden University results. Zesco Malite Rangers 3, Trident 1. Lumwana Radiance 3, Jumulo 1. Kitwe United 0, Wapula Green Eagles 0. Mufira Wanderers 4, Quattro Kalumbira 1. City of Lusaka 1, Young Green Buffaloes 0. Police College 1, Nchanga Rangers 2. Goms 0, FC Muza 2. Young Green Eagles 3, Livingstone Pirates 0. Napster Stars 4, Kawe Youth Soccer Academy 1. The Eden almost now reaching the boiling point.
Yes.
Now, just a quick one. I just want to find out, this Zesco Malaiti Rangers, is it the one that's in Lusaka?
The one that is in Lusaka, yes.
The one George Munga used to, the late George Munga used to coach?
Yes.
Okay.
The former Malaiti Rangers.
Former Malaiti Rangers. Oh, where there was Isaac Muhura.
This was the team which
This
was,
was the team.
which was Zesco, which was representing Zesco,
yes.
in the 80s.
In the 80s, because that's where Isaac Muhura and those exports from Malawi were playing.
At one point, they had even disbanded Zesco United and remained with Malite Rangers.
Yeah.
But it was again
Reconstituted.
And Keegan Mumba coached it, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, the late Keegan.
Okay, so just a quick one. Charlie, what stood out to you as far as looking at the results in the Eden?
Lumwana Radiance 3, Jumulo 1. One, I think we must give credit to Lumwana Radiance for holding on to a decent result at home, still making them top of the pile. But for Jumulo, slowly they are getting down the pack. So a very good result for Lumwana Radiance under the tutelage of Bilton Musonda. They have been consistent, and I think they are getting it right with the games becoming fewer, but it was a very, very good result for Lumwana Radiance.
Yep. But Chris, what stood out for you?
Mufulira Wanderers versus Quattro Kalumbila.
The obvious.
Obvious. It's not really obvious, you know. I knew you would say obvious, but let me give my reasons. Quattro Kalumbila lost by a slender margin. They put up a very good fight the previous week when they had that local derby.
Yes.
So they were coming, even if they had lost to Lumwana, they were coming to Shinde knowing that, okay, things have changed. At the same time, we had people here saying that Mighty Wanderers are pretenders, you know? And you can't have pretenders scoring 4 goals like that. So that just shows the intent where we are going.
They are very good at escorting their friends into the Premier League.
No. Let's wait and see.
They are good bridesmaids.
So for me, because I watched this game. I watched this game and I saw right from the beginning they showed intent, like the way they showed that in Nchanga Rangers. I keep talking about the Nchanga Rangers game versus Mighty Wanderers. Nchanga Rangers only reached twice in the second half. So that scoreline, it's still hurting and it's still harsh for Mighty Wanderers fans because Rangers really had nothing to offer in the second half and the first half. But they deserve it because they scored. It's about goals. Isn't it?
Bolan is good.
Yeah, it's about goals. So it's all about how well you played. So. That's the thing that's the result that caught my eye.
Arthur?
The most interesting game for me was the Goms Musa.
Yes.
Yeah, that red card, and he just spoiled everything for Goms.
For Goms.
They were the most informed team in the country.
Yes.
Before that game.
That game.
Yeah, then Musa just came and just spoiled it for them. I hope Musa will maintain form when they come into the Premiership. I hope they're not just coming in for show, you know. We would like to see the same spirit continue.
We want to see some bite.
Yeah. Not at the same level, of course, but at least it's quite encouraging. Because you know, if you see their current form, they're not relenting. They're still pushing. You can tell these guys the intention is really, really serious.
It's there.
So we wish them well.
Yeah, I feel bad for Gomes, really. They were pushing up nicely. But
we'll see their
that's how
recovery,
football is. We'll see how they recover after a good run.
Yeah, we'll see how they recover after a good run.
I think for me, what was interesting, which I saw this weekend, was the recovery of Napsa. I wanted to see if
boys,
they'll recover, especially after that battle against Musa the previous week, to see if they'll find their feet again, because Napsa, it had been 4 games, no win.
Then a big win.
Imagine, and then finally back to winning ways.
The other interesting game was the Rangers one. Rangers were beaten by Police College at home.
No, Rangers won.
What Rangers won?
No, the first game.
The first game.
The first game, yeah.
So it's just the reverse fixture.
The reverse fixture.
Yeah.
The other team
They just had to get these points.
Yeah, the other team worth talking about, Kitwe United
versus Luapula.
Luapula Green Eagles. At one point, they were rising steadily. Then they had those allowance issues. I hope that they have put those allowance issues behind them. New coach in Wellington, Mujembe, got a win, but drawing at home with young Zesco Luapula. It was not a good result for Kitwe United. And if they are to bounce back such results, I think will jack their chances. I hope that Kitwe United picked up a few positives in this barren draw they had with Luapula. The writing was on the wall. This game favored Kitwe United to pick up maximum points.
Yeah.
But to draw, I think this was a blip for Kitwe United.
Yeah. Remember, we are live on 87.7 on the Copper Belt, 96.9 in Lusaka, 92.1 in Solwezi, and on Facebook and YouTube. Just simply look for Flava FM on any of those platforms, and you will see the gentleman in the studio. Bachali is in red. Chris Nabafwara Kasote, Adidas, and Arthur is smartly dressed.
And the one who's taken over from Adam and smartly dressed.
And sporting a white beard.
A white beard. It's getting white and whiter.
Wisdom. Confirmation.
Yes. So, looking at the way the table is shaping up. Well, let me just quickly run through the table. At the bottom is Livingston Pirates with 18 points still out of 18. Police College 17 with 19 points. Quattro Kalumbila 16 on 20 points. Kaisa 15 on 23 points. Malaiti Rangers 14 at 24 points. 13 Luapula Green Eagles 25 points. Young Green Buffaloes 12 with 30 points. Gomes 11, 33 points. City of Lusaka 10 with 33 points. Kitwe United 9 with 34 points. Jumulo 8, 34 points. 7 Mufulira Wanderers 34 points. Trident 6, 35 points. Nchanga Rangers 5, 37 points. The top 4 Young Green Eagles on 40 points. Number 4. Number 3 Napsa 43 points. Number 2 Musa 45 points. Number 1 Lumwana Radiance on 46 points. Starting with you, Bachali, number 4 and number 1 separated by 6 points. Is anyone in danger? And you should see the top 4 is separated by 3 points again on the chasing bunch. Is it so tricky for the ones who are especially number 4, 3? I mean, 6 points is not. Number 5 and number 1 are separated by only 9 points. Is it still tricky?
Very, very tricky pass. Their positions are being threatened. But for Lumwana, Musa, they are sitting pretty. I think the teams that are threatening the top 4 very much is Nchanga Rangers and Mufulira Wanderers. Trident, they have not been very, very consistent in terms of posting good results. But for Nchanga and Wanderers, I think they have a big say in the top 4. And the other, when you look down again, there is Quattro Kalumbira, who have lost 5 games on the spin. And out of those 5 games, their coach also has ditched them to join Trident. So, meaning Quattro Kalumbira, they are in Maningi problems. Losing 5 games on the trot. But for the top, I still favor Wanderers, Nchanga Rangers to continue pushing. Lumwana, I can safely say they are heading in the right direction.
Arthur, Jumulo seems to have lost. I don't know whether they've lost their mojo or they are just having a slump. 2 losses in a row has condemned them to number 8 on 34 points. They still have a shout on top 4, which is 6 points away.
Pius, if you look at this league, promotion is dependent on the first 4. Forget about the first 4. Then from number 5 to number 8. These people who are playing, this is Nchanga Rangers, Trident, and Jumulo. They need to be beating the guys in the top 4
to slow them down.
They cannot afford. They can lose to other teams, but when they meet these guys in the top 4, they need to beat them. That is the only way Nchanga Rangers, Flava Wanderers, and Jumulo, and probably Trident as well, will be able to have any meaningful chance of making it into the top 4. But if you lose to one of the guys in the top 4, then you're in trouble. That's why for Nchanga Rangers, the most difficult game this season for them is this weekend's game against Green Eagles. Because if Nchanga Rangers loses to Green Eagles, then their chances of moving into 4th position are completely gone for now. See where the problem is. So for the guys in the top 4 must also make sure they beat the front runners. Who are the number 1, number 5, 6, 7, and up to 8, probably up to 9 as well. That's where the problem is. So if these guys want to make it past, they need to hammer the guys in the top 4. And
But Chris, anything you see as well? Are you seeing through the same eyes as Arthur?
I'm seeing something slightly different. In a way, I agree with Arthur. Very, very much I agree with Arthur. Only on the fact that, you see, I did analysis on the next 2 games. Starting next week, not this week, the ones we're playing this week, but the next 2 games. Those are the ones that are going to determine how the league is going to run out. And I from my analysis, I saw that Lumwana Radiant, Musa, and Napsa will still get the 3 spots. The only spot that's going to be left is just one spot, number 4th spot. And this is the one where Nchanga Rangers, Trident, Mighty Flava Wanderers, and Jumulo and Quito United, these 4 have got a say in that. These 4 have got a say in that because going by the permutations and the way I worked it out, the top, if you look at the fixtures, really, you will see that the fixtures really favor the 3 top teams, Lumwana, Musa, and Napsa. They've got the points for the next 2-3 games. But for Mighty Flava Wanderers, Nchanga Rangers, and Trident, it's all tricky. It could be any out of these 4, one spot. We'll go to
So let's look at the fixtures coming up. Vachali, you've got the fixtures for the next round of games.
Yes, for the next round of games, it pans out like this. Trident will be up against Lumwana Radiance in a local derby. Luapula Green Eagles will engage Zesco Malite Rangers. Jumulo up against Mufira Wanderers. Young Green Buffaloes will square it up with Kitwe United. Quattro Kalumbira, who are turning into the Whipping Boys, they will come up against Police College. FC Musa in Mazabuka will lock horns with City of Lusaka. Nchanga Rangers, perhaps in game of the week, are up against Young Green Eagles.
That's a double header.
Yeah.
Then Cabo Youth Soccer Academy will engage Gomes, Livingston Pirates up against Napsa Stars.
All right, some interesting fixtures here. But Chris, starting with you, what you were talking about difficult fixtures coming up for the chasing pack.
Yeah, for the chasing
Jumulo, Mufulira Wanderers.
Exactly, and
And then also we've got Nchanga Green Eagles.
Exactly, so you can see where they are. Right
drama.
Now. You can see where
drama this weekend.
These four teams, you can see where they are. Like
they are the ones who are even chasing.
Exactly, Jumulo same points with Mighty Mufulira Wanderers. So it's in fact this is an early kickoff. It kicks off about 12:45, and then there'll be Nchanga Rangers against Young Green Eagles. So you can see it's really tight, very, very tight.
Yeah. And Arthur, what is your view on the fixtures upcoming?
The same drama, my brother. Those guys in the top, fighting for top four. There's a lot of drama there.
Is it an anything can happen thing, or do you see Mufulira Wanderers' momentum carrying them and beating Jumulo, who are trying to also hold on?
If you look at the two teams,
to not lose any points.
I think Mighty Mufulira Wanderers is more hungry than Jumulo.
Yeah,
I see. If you look at the momentum that Mighty has, even after losing to Nchanga Rangers, they still have the drive. I see Mighty getting 3 points there. But the worst case scenario is a draw.
It's a draw, yeah.
Nchanga Rangers on a wonderful run, Vachari, against Young Green Eagles. I mean, it is a tricky fixture. What are you seeing? Number 4 against number 5. They can, and automatically, if Nchanga Rangers win this, they're in the top 4.
Exactly.
Because they've even got a better goal difference, because they'll be on the same points.
Yeah, this is the analysis which Asa gave out, that if you are to bridge the gap to the top, you need to beat the teams at the top. Yeah, so this is a very tricky fixture. Nchanga up against Young Green Eagles. But Young Green Eagles has a lot of experience. They have got players who've been shunted from the senior team into their team. So for Nchanga Rangers, I think they will have to climb a steep mountain up against Young Green Eagles. I slightly give it to Young Green Eagles up against Nchanga Rangers.
Trident versus Lumwana. Don't you think they can be spoilers, Trident? I mean, they're
a draw.
Also chasing, and like Arthur was giving analysis, the same line I'll use. You have to beat the guys at the top.
They have been posting yo-yo kind of results.
Yes.
Lose, win, lose, win, lose, win. So for Trident, again, a tough fixture for them. But they can fancy their chances. It won't be easy. Lumwana are breathing fire. And they are in a hurry to get back where they think they belong. But again, as I look at the top very quickly, the bottom again. Pass. There is a very, very interesting game. Quattro Karumbira up against the Police College. Relegation dogfight.
Yes.
There is also Luapula Green Eagles versus Zesco Malite Rangers. Malite Rangers has picked up form. They have posted 2 wins on the trot. Yes. They want to remain in this league.
And they're out of relegation.
Out of relegation. So the bottom looking very tough. But for Quattro Karumbira, I think they are heading in the opposite direction.
Confirmed dead.
Interesting result there. So
intensive care.
If Trident managed to hold Lumwana, FC Muza most likely can take the top slot.
Muza will take it.
The top slot this weekend.
Because I see Trident beating Lumwana.
In Mazabuga.
Hey. You see Trident beating Lumwana?
I mean,
So
my mind is on.
You are predicting a proper derby.
Proper derby. Because for Lumwana, they're very comfortable. Trident needs the 3 points.
Okay.
Yeah, for Lumwana, they are very comfortable. So they'll be surprised. Oh, they will hammer them 3-0.
I'll just safely say Lumwana, according to analysis I was looking at across the leagues, Eden and Premier League, Lumwana is, apart from Lumwana and Green Eagles in the Premier League and Kansanshi Dynamos, these are the 3 most informed teams in the country, and 2 of them are from Solwezi. So I think we shall see. We shall see. Let's go into the Premier League and look at results which came off this weekend. Arthur, can I ask you to give us results from Friday, Saturday games?
That is Lusaka Dynamos 1, Power Abayelo Aba Busaka 1, Red Arrows 2, Prison Leopards 1. That is for the Friday games.
Yeah.
Then Saturday, Kansanshi 3, Skafio Celtic 2. Yashupe Kulande. Zesco 2, Barabambi 1. Charumbule.
Barabambi FC.
Barabambi FC. Indeni 1, Green Buffaloes 2.
Nyanta Nyanta.
Chambeshi 0, Konkula Blades 1. Cabo Warriors 1, Green Eagles 2.
I think you missed Nkwazi.
Nkwazi, I don't have the Nkwazi result.
Nkwazi New and Buildcon 1. Okay. All right. I think looking at these results, I think it was good to see just only one draw, which was the Lusaka Dynamos Power game.
Green Buffaloes is back.
And I know we talked a lot about Power Dynamos.
Yes.
It's the kind of thing where if you have the opportunity to pick up points against the struggling teams, you must pick up points against the struggling teams. But let's look at the top. But Chris, Red Arrows, Prison Leopards. Red Arrows after a stumble, back to winning ways.
That wasn't a stumble. That was they were given a thumping. Those boys taught them
A thumping.
they were giving a thumping. Well, not really a scoreline, but a good thumping. They taught them something. But look, like we've actually said all the time, Red Arrows think they can actually get it. So they just want to keep on getting the momentum and run away with it. But it's not going to be very easy.
But Charlie, while we are here, we might as well talk about the tower incident. What happened, in case there's someone out there who didn't hear about the tower incident?
Yeah. I watched the
Tower game.
The tower game, as it were.
The tower derby.
It happened in the second half. But talking about the game itself, I was impressed with Conlide Luchanga. He's back, played very well, scored the first goal for Prison Leopards. They were pegged back by Red Arrows. And at a point when Red Arrows had an upper hand in the second half, the goalkeeper had put his towel inside the net. And they kept on trying, hit the post, tried this, they couldn't score. So the fans started thinking that maybe the goalkeeper for Prison Leopards is using the towel to thwart any danger from Red Arrows. So one of the boys got the towel, and play had to be halted for about 8-7 minutes until the referee gave a red card to the boys to say, out. Can you just go out? And the towel was brought back. Gave it to the goalkeeper. Instead of getting it in the net, put it outside. And there was additional time. And Prison Leopards conceded in the additional time without the towel. Okay?
I like that. Without the towel. You get the emphasis, huh? Without the towel.
Without the towel, of course.
It was a good win for Red Arrows. I know that the chasing pack, teams like Green Eagles, were hoping for a draw so that the gap could be reduced further. But for Prison Leopards, it was a bitter pill to swallow. After defending very well, they conceded in the closing stages, and celebration was very much on the Red Arrows bench, it was a huge relief because they want to stay at the top. For you to remain at the top, you need to churn out such results.
Second weekend in a row, Red Arrows with a... No, it's not second weekend. They've had late recoveries, even the one against Konkola Blades.
The draw.
Yeah, the draw. Okay, and other Kansanshi Dynamos, who are one of the teams which are earmarked as one of the informed teams in the country, beating Kafia Sautek 3-2.
They are proving to be a better side slowly, and it's situations like this that make coaches like what's his name again? Tenant Chilumba. It makes coaches like Tenant Chilumba look bad. You get my point. It's decisions like that. Sometimes we condemned Kansanshi on the decision that they made, and they are trying to. I mean, they're slowly proving us wrong. So decisions were made because they were headed for relegation, and they are showing character. And for them, what is important is just to survive the Premiership, and then they can regroup. But
did you see the Albert Kangwanda go?
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. No, the Kangwanda boy is we'll see whether that continues even into next season.
Is he Kosafa material?
No, Bola pass. You give them chance at the national team level. Yeah, he's scoring.
Okay.
So we try him at the national team and see whether he's able to.
Whether he can handle the pressure.
Can continue scoring at that level of pressure.
Okay. Chris, Nkwazi Neo Zesco 1. Nkwazi Buildcon 1 rather. Very inconsistent Nkwazi. It's about before I even hand over to you. Yeah. Or can we just say Buildcon just have been good? I mean, if we look, the last 5 games they've won 3 out of them.
Yeah, 3 actually.
So they are not a pushover. They are number 5. Can we just say Buildcon are just a good side?
They're not a good side. They've just been pushing because.
They're number 5.
Yeah, there's nothing like number 5.
But you said they've been pushing.
They've been pushing, yeah. In the last 2-3 games they've pushed, huh? The last 2-3 games they've pushed. Yeah, but Nkwazi, Nkwazi is a yo-yo side. Sometimes they post good results, sometimes they don't post good results. So, taking nothing away from Buildcon, they deserve it. They deserve to be where they are. Although, in inverted commas, they deserve it to be where they are.
Actually, Ndeni 1, GBFC 2. GBFC
is back.
Nyanta, 2 wins again. They are still nyantering now.
2 wins and counting.
2 wins and counting.
Hey.
I would call this result as one out of perseverance. They passed through a torrid time. I think playing about 10, 11 games without victory. And truth be told, Buffaloes is back. And you know what a buffalo can do when they trample on you. So, good result for Green Buffaloes, even after losing Friday some. Still, they are grinding up results. And they are on position number 4. They have won 2 games on the spin. Good result for Buffaloes. For Indeni, I think the battle for relegation continues. Not a good result for Indeni, but I think we must give credit to Green Buffaloes. They have reorganized. They have come back with a lot of vigor and good result for them.
Other Chambeshi Neo Konkola 1. Konkola did what Nkana failed to do.
But for Konkola, it's a well-deserved victory. They're still hoping they can get out of the mud, but I don't have hope.
With 10 games to go.
It's a lost cause.
10 games to go.
If they can win another 2 games, yes.
No, 3.
No, 2 will give them hope.
10 games to
points wise, 2 will get them out of the mud.
2 will get them out of
the but to be safe, they need 3.
They need 3.
No, what you need is when you get out of the mud, you start believing. Yeah, but
And they had to thank Tapson Kaseva
Mm.
after joining them. I think he has given them a bit of biting teeth.
Yes.
Yeah, he was on the score sheet. So how I wish he had come in earlier for them. He's been one of their standout players, went away, joined Green Eagles. He's back, and he's been very influential. I like, I have a soft spot for Konkola Blades in that stadium which is there. It has to be continuously being used. Lubengele is no more. So that stadium, I think, has to be. Konkola Mine Police again, almost defunct. So I have a soft spot for Konkola Blades, and they have got passionate supporters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are still hoping, like I was saying, Arthur, 10 games to go. They should actually win 6 of those games.
To be on the safe
To
side.
be on the safe side. To be on the
meaning
safe
they have
side.
to beat big teams as well.
Big teams,
and middle side teams in the middle.
they have to offer a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of 10, they need to pick up 6 points.
In the English Premier League, I've noticed over the years, 40 points seems to be the safety
Safe.
benchmark.
Yeah.
Yes.
In our league with 18 teams, is there a number which is usually 35?
35, it had gone even to 38,
To 38.
to 38.
Yeah.
So now they are on
They're on 21 points.
21 points
So if they get 6 wins,
6 wins.
18 to take them to 39,
to 39.
that will be safety.
They'll be safety.
Whatever happens.
Yeah.
But you know, with current form, doing 60% of the 100% of winning, that is too old.
Every game remaining will be everything
Yeah.
for these teams at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, so they need to actually get those wins. If not,
Yeah.
It's
And I
obvious.
mean, Nkana did it last time. So they should take heed. Nkana, if Nkana did it, we can also did
Beston
it.
Chambesh came in with Bazo.
Yes.
That was the difference.
So
They
Tapson
carried
Ka-
the team.
For them, Tapson Kaseva must do the magic.
Uh-huh. Lastly, by Chris, Cabo Warriors 1, Green Eagles 2. Green Eagles still making a statement.
Green Eagles is a good side, and like you've rightly put it, they're making a statement there. They are eyeing the top 4 and one of the top 2. They would want to stay in that position. But look, I think over the years they've matured. They've seen what they did wrong, and they've done their homework. In short, they've done their homework, and they deserve to have one spot in the Continental League.
And they've maintained their coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
they've done.
that's why I said they've done their
They were not
homework.
quick at firing the coach when they had the slump.
Yes, they had. And their slump was bad.
Oh, too bad.
It was
They almost
bad
forgotten,
for the way they've been the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
The slump really affected them,
But
but
they
they've
did
managed to
yeah,
recover
and-
themselves.
And then they maintain the coach.
Yeah.
Other clubs now what time the coach.
And finally, last game, Bachali, Zesco 2, Nkana 1. I watched the first half, looking at, or let me just say, remembering from watching the first half, Zesco started with fire. And then, it was kind of a game where it was more or less one-sided. Zesco was firing, and Nkana cracked. They scored. And then, Nkana all of a sudden came back with a Kasaka punch, and Zesco momentum, it kind of
Fizzled out.
and that brought the game back down to earth. Zesco lost that thing until second half started again. Your thoughts over this game?
Yeah, this is a game I watched second by second, minute by minute. I was very, very interested to watch the big boys shrug it out at Levi Manawasa. And I'll talk about the positives from this game. Diamond Chiboni was at fault for one of the Zesco goals, together with Kelvin Malunga, who was supposed to guard is it the near post or far post? You don't concede at such an angle. And credit must go to the new signee for Zesco United, the Kenyan.
He played well.
Played well, terrific. But he was supposed to be handled by Chivoni. Took on Chivoni.
Kondwani.
Kondwani Chivoni.
Diamond was.
If I may
But
use a
that is
Bemba
that
term.
immaturity.
Yeah.
Played.
If I may use a Bemba term, Achari Fina. Hello, Chafina. Chivoni was bundled off the ball, just chased him. And Malunga, near post, conceded. Nkana played well. Bazo tried. But on the day, Zesco played all the football. More especially in the first half.
Yeah, you saw the weakness of having a midfielder turned into a defender.
Yes.
Chulu.
When
he needed to be hard outside the 18, he was casual. But a natural defender will actually hit you.
Chulu.
Sorry,
so they're paying the price on that.
Sorry,
on that
but
one.
you see, Chulu has been there for them. You can't be giving excuses.
He was a little bit slow.
He was slow and soft.
In dangerous positions.
He
In
was slow
a
and soft.
dangerous position.
He needed to just, even if it means fouling that person, it was outside the 18.
Yes.
Proper defender.
The fans for Zesco have been calling for the neck of Numba. But with such results, a bit of patience is needed. But for Continental, I think that first round ejection hurt a lot of fans.
Hey, that one.
To a
It
team
hurt all
like-
of us
Yes.
actually. Who are even
It hurt the
who are not
nation.
even this
To lose in
compassion.
the first round.
Eh.
I hope that if they are challenging for honors, let them reinforce their team with quality players. And when we talk about quality,
Real quality.
we mean real quality. Fonkana, let them come up
At least
with
Oburu showed some
yeah,
signs.
let them come up with proper defenders, not where they are converting
Makeshift.
midfielders into a defender. Like Arthur was saying, Chulu is a midfielder converted into a defender, but his pace is what is lacking. So Nkana should look at their central defense and improve on that, more especially in the next window. But it was a good game. Good game we watched.
Good game, good advert for Zambian football, as we had alluded earlier. Okay. And just quickly, just to run through the fixtures of what we're expecting this weekend. We were supposed to have built Konzanako, but it's been postponed. We're having Kafia Celtic versus Lusaka Dynamos, Nkana versus Kansanshi. I think that will be interesting to watch. One, Kansanshi have got form. Two, it's Beston's former team. Power Dynamos versus Nkwazi. Green Buffaloes versus Zesco United. Konkola Blades versus Indeni. Green Eagles versus Chambishi. Prisons Leopards versus Cabo Warriors. Forest Rangers versus Red Arrows. Arthur, what is tickling your fancy this weekend?
Anyway, a game which is involving Red Arrows is interesting.
Against Forest Rangers.
Just because, I mean, they need to confirm their position. Once they're able to win another game at this pass, you can actually almost safely say, okay, the contention for winning the league is now imminent, and that's what we need. A champion who's actually driving.
Local derby.
They're driving, and look at what Buffaloes did. They were driving it and they lost it. Come on. And if you look at Red Arrows, the tables have turned in their positivity in the closing part of the league, which is a very big bonus.
Is it a 2-horse race?
No, it's a 1-horse race for now. There's
4 points
no,
difference.
even that 4 points pass. If you look at the pedigree of Cabo Warriors, right? I mean of Red Arrows right now. I don't think anyone is going to match them.
Green Eagles,
Green Eagles is coming.
they are
It's coming,
fighting.
but
They are pushing.
Listen,
You
pass.
know,
They need to lose that 4 points.
Mm.
That 4 points can win them the league. You need to curtail it to 3. I mean to 1. Then we're contention. Look at Man City. They had 9. They lose it to 6. Even if they lose against Liverpool, they can still win the league.
On goal difference.
Yeah. No, 1 point.
On points by
On points.
3.
You get my point. So for Red Arrows, their continued winning is a great advantage. They win another 3 points. That's why they celebrated that 3 points. Prison.
Yeah, because
every 3 points right now is very important.
Charlie, 2 horse race or 1 horse race?
2 horse race.
2 horse race.
2 horse race. Others will join much later, but I'm impressed with Green Eagles. One, their recruitment policy has been spot on. They have been working behind the scenes, bringing in players, others rejected, but they're turning them into stars. For Red Arrows, again, they chopped off what we may call excess players for them, but still, they have come back playing good football. Red Arrows is a little bit worrying, maybe in their goalkeeping department. Kenny Mumba has been around, but not their first choice. So, for now, we may safely say it may be a 2-horse race, but Green Eagles will be in there. They will stick in there.
Exactly.
I know. And talking about this weekend's game, they are coming up against Chambishi.
So you can
This
imagine.
game will go, it will be one-way traffic.
One way.
One-way traffic.
It is one-way traffic.
So in other words, you're apologizing to Chambeshi
Yes, we are.
in advance.
We are.
Green traffic lights all the way. Right now,
The one-way traffic.
One-way traffic.
Okay. All right. And what about the 2 Kitwe games? By Chris Nkana versus Kansanshi, Power versus Nkwazi?
I'm interested in the one Power Dynamos versus Nkwazi. We talked about Power quite a lot. And I think Power need to reorganize themselves. They need to prove to their fans that they really want one of the top spots on the top 4 spots. Power Dynamos are a good side, but the disappointment comes in when they hit peak and then they lose it again. So like that leaves the fans really asking themselves, do we really deserve to be in the top 4? And can we actually perform at that level? And with the kind of things that we talked about, the recruitment policy and all these other things, that's where they need to really reorganize themselves. But this game, Power Dynamos need to say something against Nkwazi. Nkwazi is not going to be a walk in the park. Nkwazi also wants they want their 3 points. So Power Dynamos are the ones here who've got the advantage, the fact that they're playing at home. So they just need to raise their bar in this game.
All right.
One more fixture worth talking about, pass. Prison Leopards up against Cabo Warriors.
Cabo Derby.
This is a Cabo Derby. And if you ask me where this game may tilt towards, I think Warriors has an edge over Prison Leopards. But these are players
But of late, Prisons have been winning.
who possibly
They mingle.
they mingle
play
together.
Yeah,
They
but if
play
you look at
together.
the statistics, Prisons have been winning of late.
Prisons.
Most of the derbies. Yeah.
It won't be an easy game.
Yeah.
But Warriors has a slight edge over
Of course.
Prison Leopards
Of course.
because of maybe player by player. I think Warriors have got better players. They lost Twiza Chaivera to Red Arrows, but still they picked up other players who have actually come to the party. Talk about even Munyao. Munyao kept a clean sheet. I think Warriors will be too strong on the day up against Prison Leopards. But Leopards also coming from a loss. They will try and offer a lot of resistance.
Yeah, but Cabo Warriors is a better side. As if you compare the two.
And fans
They are a
saying
better
that,
side, but if you look at the statistics, like the last few games that they've played against each other,
maybe
prisons
because it's a
have had
local derby,
they've had an edge all the time.
And the coach for Prison Leopards, they are saying that if they lose this game, then
He might
he might
be.
be given the boot.
Yes.
In the internal Chirumba will go there.
So I think one of the biggest fixtures this weekend, some may even say it's the fixture of the weekend. I call it the fixture of the pretenders, because we'll be seeing whether they are real or not. Green Buffaloes versus Zesco, number 3 and number 4.
And it's so confusing because
Yes,
they
it's
are both-
confusing. You don't know which way is it going to go. It's a fixture of the pretenders. Are they pretending to follow the other two, the Red Arrows and Eagles, or are they just messing around?
And this is where Zesco disappoints you. You know, this is where sometimes my fans of Zesco are fully Wasasha. They play so well against Nkana just to lose to Buffaloes. So I think
Buffaloes,
let's give them a draw.
This season have done well.
Let's give them a draw.
A draw.
Let's give them a draw. Yeah.
But Charlie.
Yeah, I know for sure General Alubuzu has given out massive instructions to Buffaloes, the Nyanta boys. Nyanta. They will probably take the ball and the player together. The Nyanta boys. They have been given instructions now to conquer this league. It won't be easy.
Because
in short,
because if Green Buffaloes are back, they can actually go there and play the same way they played when they started.
But Chris, do you see Zesco probably putting out a good performance as they did against Nkana?
Yeah, well, I'll tend to go the other route, the other way around. I think I'll give it to Zesco. I'll give it to Zesco the fact that, look, pressure's on Green Buffaloes. It's not on Zesco right now. Zesco have actually chalked up a win. They're coming from a win. And you know, when you beat a big team like Nkana, your morale really goes up. And they know that they can actually pick up these 3 points. Although it's not going to be easy. But 3 points to Zesco for me.
I'll just as we close the Premiership, and then very quickly we'll look at the 2 international fixtures we've had for the ladies and Zanaco. I'm going to give the table, and then I'm only going to ask one question, which you might as well think about now. Is there? I mean, here we're looking at top 4. GBFC are back in the top 4, but is there? Is Zesco guaranteed that top 3 slot? Do you think Zesco will probably be in that top 4 and only one slot is up for grabs? The league is looking like this. 18, we have Lusaka Dynamos 20 points. 17, Konkola Blades 21 points. 16, Chambeshi 22 points. 15, Kafua Celtic 25 points. Indeni 14 with 26 points. Prison Leopards 13 with 29 points. Kansanshi 12 with 31 points. Forest Rangers 11, 31 points. Zanaco 10, 31 points. Kabwe Warriors 9, 31 points. 8, Nkwazi 32 points. 7, Power Dynamos 35 points. 6, Nkana 36 points. 5, Buildcon 38 points. 4, top 4 is like this. GBFC 38 points. 3, Zesco 41 points. 2, Green Eagles 42 points. And 1, Red Arrows with 46 points. How many slots, Bachali, do you think are probably gone, and how many are up for grabs?
The 4 slots, they are still very much open. We're talking about 10 games to go, and we're talking about 30 points, which will be up for grabs. And if you look at the fixtures is what will give you a direction. Nkana still has to play Power Dynamos in the reverse fixture. Let's put it that way. Zesco are playing Green Buffaloes. So it will depend on the remaining fixtures and which opponents. But if you ask me, for the top 4, Red Arrows will have a big say on 46 points. Green Eagles, because of their consistency, and if you look at even the form guide, Green Eagles is doing very well. Then the equation comes in. Zesco United have got depth in their ranks, and the 3rd slot may go to Zesco United. The 4th one, that is where now I'll bring 3 teams in this equation. Green Buffaloes, Power, and Nkana.
And Buildcon.
I'm removing Buildcon because of
inconsistency.
So the 4th slot,
the
4th slot, I'm giving it to Buffaloes, Nkana, and Power Dynamos.
Because I think that's fair to say, because if I mathematically include BuildCon, these four teams are only separated by 3 points, so they can be switching for this slot. But if we put Zesco in the equation, they need an extra 2 games to get closer to Zesco, but 1 game gets them in top 4. So
What difference?
yeah. Yeah, so that is quite interesting
Zesco can
feature.
afford the loss and still remain in top.
Top. Yeah.
One thing
So
I
they,
haven't,
they need to just increase their insurance.
yeah,
And they have got depth.
Yeah.
They can rest
They
5,
can
6
cement
players,
it.
still come back. You know?
yeah,
They
but
can cement
but the top 2, we'll see how, especially after these weekend games, they might even increase the gap, especially if Zesco messes around with GBFC. If they draw, Green Eagles highly likely will beat Chambeshi, and Red Arrows this weekend also highly likely may also. For me, I've seen them. They're actually fighting for their points.
Yeah.
So
they
against
need them.
Forest,
Yeah.
they
Forest is in
just
trouble.
might get a good result as
They'll
well.
get a no, they will get a good result
Yeah.
from Forest.
I know Forest, it won't be easy, but
But
Red
they will.
Arrows just might get that good result. So we'll see how this pans out in the end. Yeah.
Nkwazi is out of the picture.
Yes.
No, quite
Yeah.
fair
So
to
best
say
yes, Nkwazi out of the picture.
They've never been in the picture.
Best
that. They've
defense.
always just top 8.
Best defense in the country so far
Top
is
10.
is
Top 8.
Green Eagles.
Okay.
They've conceded the least number of goals, and best strike force in the country is naturally GBFC because of Friday Sam and those important goals, and they've scored 38 goals. Closest rival is Red Arrows with 33 points, 33 goals.
Continue
Right?
scoring more than
Yeah.
2 goals per game.
So that is
difficult to unseat
that
Liverpool
is
in that
actually
respect.
quite good. They've got a healthy, but their goal difference, because of those 11 weeks, because of conceding so many goals, their goal difference is even less than Red Arrows. But they're number 2 as far as goal difference. Red Arrows have a plus 13 and GBFC plus 11. That's when Green Eagles come with a plus 10 and Zesco with a plus 8. Okay. Gentlemen, Zanaco.
Okay.
Embarrassed as I even posted, I remember on social media, I said, I think this is very, very embarrassing for the nation.
Catastrophic.
That letting go of so many players, do you think it affected them negatively? Maybe they don't have depth in their squad, or it just didn't make a difference. The level of which we are as a nation at the moment, because Zanaco is considered one of the big teams in the country.
It is one of
Our
the...
level has just swindled.
It has actually, and the performance for Zanaco, I think it was shambolic. Shambolic for lack of better word, and letting off so many players. Atego, I think, disturbed their pattern, and most people are talking about Ernest Mbewe with a lot of experience. He was let go. Zio Tembo, at least age, I think, has even caught up with him. But the game against Pyramids of Egypt was, it is unaccepted. More especially Zambia being a footballing nation. But again, credit must go to Pyramids. They're on top, even in Egypt. In their league, they have played 8 games, they're on 20 points. They're even on top of Awali and Zamalek. So it's not a fluke that they got that result, but we expected Zanaco to play better. Even
put up
after
a fight.
losing, even after losing to CS Faxen.
1-0.
We were thinking that Zanaco will have learnt their lessons, but they became worse on the day. And if you look at the group in which they are, I think to me now they look the weakest.
They are the weakest, actually.
They will be donating points And if there was a way, they should have just withdrawn and
Come back home.
and just to say, okay, we have given points, because their performance it's unacceptable, should I say. We didn't watch a good game, and many fans were hurt by the performance of Zanaco. And why they are still keeping the coach, I don't know. He has not had luck wherever he has been to. His first 2 seasons at Power were okay, but after that, Kelvin Kaindo, I think, has not had luck on his side. And if I were in management, I think would give him the leave which was being given
To others.
to others.
The administrative leave.
Administrative leave.
Go and chill.
It's not on. It's not on. Pyramid were a better side on the day. Tactically, they played good football. No wonder they're on top, even in their league in Egypt.
Well, Chris?
I don't know where to start, but really very disappointing, catastrophic kind of performance from an average Zambian team. For me, it's Zanaco, an average Zambian team. I say this because first you have to look at the post-mortem, and then you also look at the genesis of the whole situation. How did Zanaco get here? Zanaco got here first through their undoing. The first thing they did is when they fired Chris Kaunda. Chris Kaunda was second on the league, I remember. Position number 2. And they wanted him to win the league. And I think there were about 6 or 5 more games to go. And they fired him. Immediately they fired him. They came and fired their general manager, Marlon Kalandanya. After that, it was an exodus of players. So you can see it trickles. There's a ripple effect. It trickles down, even to the players, management, and everything. So Zanaco made their own grave. They should sleep in it, and they should enjoy it. That's all I can say. Period.
Arthur?
Tell me about team players are more fully. They are an average side.
Yeah.
And it's just showing you the level of understanding of football
competition
today. Even the players that you were sent off or sent away, it's only true that
Ernest Mbewe,
maybe because of the movement, Abako revived. It's not like he was not doing anything at Zanaco still. His movement to, is it Green Eagles?
Green Eagles.
Yeah, maybe that has helped revive his career. But otherwise, he was just a passenger at Zanaco. Come on, they have an average coach with average players. And as Zambians,
an average management.
Yeah, and as Zambians, why should we be disappointed in their performance? When we were you expecting?
Were you expecting anything?
No.
Yeah, so
Not
why should
even
you be
that,
disappointed?
Arthur, not even that. We said it here.
Actually,
you and I said it here.
Actually, a win, I would have been shocked.
No, but Arthur and I said it
to,
here.
to tell the truth, a win, I would have been shocked
the standard
if
the
Zanaco
standard
beats
of play
Pyramids.
in Zambia is so bad.
It's bad.
So that means in Zambia, I think we should. I'm
There's-
bringing up the Juju thing again.
There's no player we can boast about pass in Zambia
Right now.
No player is in
Okay, not even
Zambia.
that, Arthur. Which team can we boast about? Which team? Look at on the technical aspect. Pyramid against Zanaco, ball possession, just ball possession, and just the technicality. The way they were playing, as if they're playing at home, very comfortable, and you don't see that awareness in the Zambian players. It's like they don't give a damn.
Pass, let's go from the whole Premiership. Give us just 3 players who are good. Tapari. Okay, maybe you have.
How long to Alanda Bafulwa?
All right.
Can you imagine?
Though I'm saying it jokingly, but in a way I'm being serious. I want to bring up the Juju thing again. When you see results like the Pyramids coming to beat Zanaco, what's the point of teams going to stadiums? You climb over a fence. What's the point of walking backwards out of the changing room when these things are not helping teams go to the next level? Teams only go to the next level with hard work. And if there's a semblance of talent, there needs to be that hard work to put in so that people win games properly on the pitch. Because what are we doing, teams messing around with Juju, and when you go in Africa you get embarrassed?
But Pius, can I just say something? I was reading one article, and it said something like this, that it was saying a catchment, which was actually saying like dominant value system is what controls culture, meaning that we've been dominant with this kind of culture, which has been inculcated in our players from time immemorial, and we've believed in it. And the people to blame are the coaches. The coaches should have brought it to a halt, and they should have actually started encouraging their players that football, like Arthur said, like Bachali said, football is about hard work. It's hard work. For instance, we're talking about Ronaldo. He's training. Just his training and the discipline, the time he goes to sleep, the food, what he eats, it's different. But you can't say, no, in Zambia, you can't even talk about diet level and that kind of stuff. Look at the Senegalese national team. Even those that were just local, the discipline that is there, you can't compare it to the Zambian local players. You can't. In Zambia, it's like we are playing just to fulfill fixtures. And the coaches don't have a drive to put into the players and tell them, look, guys, this is a short span life. And you know your career becomes very short, because football, it's only 3-4 years. After that, you're gone. Look at what happened to Nyambe Mulenga. And people don't want to learn that. So the coaches who are there, they are there to actually guide and direct and tell these players that it's a short life.
And just to add on to what Chris is saying, and if it wasn't for the efforts of Lamek Siame, the scoreline would have even been worse. Lamek Siame, the goalkeeper for Zanaco, tried. The scoreline would have even been more harsh. At home, you lose maybe 5-0. You start asking questions that these are our only representatives left in these.
That's why, Pius, you find that people like James Chamanga are still able to shine.
Discipline.
Yeah, because there's nothing, there's no material. Boy, shot the ball. So instead of retiring, he plays another 2-3 seasons and makes a bit of money, because there's nothing happening in Zambia.
And when
nothing.
Investment.
And not even that.
We are not investing.
We're not investing. But you see, you're saying we're not investing in the youth program. We're not investing in the youth program. But really, it boils down to the players themselves
as well.
Look at, you would say you would argue and say a long time ago you would argue and say ZCCM, RCM, NCCM, they would invest in the youth programs like schools football and that kind of stuff. But look, I think there's a very big gap, and there's a very big difference, like what's happening right now. Football has evolved, and why I've said it's evolved, one, it's discipline. The players that we have now, they are there just for the present moment, just to enjoy. It's all about enjoying. That's all. You know, a long time ago, when you hear somebody putting on a jersey, just that jersey for the national team, it was such an honor. Now anybody can go to the national team. Anybody can be picked up for the national team. And like Arthur put it rightly, right now, which players? And when we talk about this, and then there are other people who say, no, we've got talent in Zambia. Which talent? There's no talent right now.
The talent is there, but it's just not developed. We're not nurturing it from
probably if you say so nurturing.
Okay, when we talk about young talent, it's there. It just needs proper nurturing.
By who?
Yes, I mean, of course, the FA has to come in. There has to be a program with the schools,
inherent,
for example. I'm not sure now, since we have got many academies. We have more academies now than we have ever had.
So where's the talent? Where's the talent?
So somehow, somewhere, they need to be
schools football is what is supposed to be.
Schools football
the key is just schools football.
Schools football.
When it comes to academies,
more talent.
The only academy which is doing well in Zambia is that Atletico.
Athletics.
Yeah.
That is the only academy. These are other academies. They're just jokers.
Schools football is
So
supposed
we need
to
to
be
just go
brought
back to schools.
That's
Schools
the backbone.
football.
That's the backbone.
need
Only.
Primary,
secondary.
You know what makes football develop? You need party position you obey. Mfumo hapo bali 4. If you are the ball akali. If you snooze, you lose.
Schools
football. But you see,
because for example, we are one of I might as well bring it now. Though Charlie, you mentioned Joseph Saboba Banda. He is heading to Spain, to Barcelona, for trials. that is a huge platform for him to go and showcase what he can do. We have heard of many Zambians, talented, who have gone to Europe. They've gone for trials and they've failed, and you've just said they've come back and they were not accepted where they are. You know, football is more than just your personal skill. Why is Jacob Mulenga still playing today at 37 years old? It's footballing brain. If you don't have a footballing brain and skill, it's not enough. Because sometimes you just have a player, he just knows ukupika. That's all. You tell him, no, we need you to change your game so that you can do this and use your skill in this way. Him, he just alevo ukupika. That's the only thing which he knows.
The other player who was brought back, Ignatius Ruipa. He was
exactly.
He went to Nats in France when Jacob Mlenga was there. He told them, "I've got a friend, a player in Zambia who's very, very good." He went there, very good when it came to attacking, but defensive-wise, Nashala Kuria, Basungu, they were giving max. Attacking, 7, but defending, nothing.
See,
he was brought back because of those attributes. You attack as a team, defend as a team, full of running. When there's a set piece,
he couldn't even improve.
He was brought back, but he was given that opportunity. And talking about Sabobo Banda, we needed more young players being exposed. Under 15, under 17. Smarter tried to do that.
He did that
with the Renford Calabas. So many young players were coming up under 15.
Under 15.
That's what I'm emphasizing with schools football, where you can have an under 15. The FAS has got a program, but no one is monitoring those boys. Under 15, under 17. There are no clubs monitoring those talents, and some talent is just going to,
but I thought
going to waste.
Last week, Paudaman said that FAS had put up a group of people, a group of like coaches who are going right around the country to identify and see the performance of those players. If they can just put it to crunch and just actually make sure that these boys are well looked after.
The only team that I can give credit to very much is Kafiwe Celtic.
Oh yeah.
They are trying to come up with a school of excellency for football, where they will be enrolling players under 15 alongside school and football. But players will be graduating. They will be twined to European teams at a tender age, after learning the basics of football.
But you see,
you learn the basics first.
What has made Kafuor Celtic to go in that direction? First is the structure. The structure that which Lee Kawano put. Lee Kawano has done very well. He stuck with this team even when people were actually saying he was not going to make it and all that. And you know, earlier on you talked about investment. We're not bringing in so much investment in Zambia in terms of football. Like if you go to where this Keita, the co-partner to Lee Kawano, I don't know if it's Guinea or whatever, and that kind of. You should see the kind of investment they've invested in the in the youth league.
Brilliant.
Like you're telling, youth league and just a school system structure which they've put in place. So I agree with you. With you and Adhan Bapas, everybody. I retract my statement again. If I actually hurt people outside there where I actually said we don't have talent, we do have talent. Let me just humble myself. We do have talent, but I think it's also the way we manage our structures and our boys.
FAS came up with a brilliant program under 15, but those boys are supposed to be tracked. Clubs are supposed to be interested. Invest in those talents. You see many players coming. There is a gap after Patson Dakamwepo. Again, there is a gap here.
Yeah, because if you look,
we need to have a continuation.
We don't have a conveyor belt. Like now,
it's not there.
Like now, we saw Joseph Sabobo at the Kosafa, and that's if you have to talk about the next great talent, that's the one people talk about. But who else? Which other 10 players, for example?
Papa, it's not even that. I think what's really disheartening and hurting is let's go way back about 10, 12 years ago. 10, 12, 15 years ago, we had those boys when Andrew Sinkala, and we had Ronald Bambara, who played with Ronaldinho.
Under 20 at the World Cup.
At the World Cup.
Evans Mwaba.
Morocco.
Evans,
In
yeah,
Morocco.
those players
Under Patrick Peary.
Patrick Peary. And where are they today? Their fellow
Perry
friends
was also there.
Perry
Yeah.
was also
Perry
there.
was there.
Perry was there.
Their fellow
Perry
players are still friends are still playing. So it's how we manage.
Same
And,
Lumumba,
and,
goalkeeper.
and this has always been the problem. Believe you me, it's been there. It was the problem in the Kalusha era. It's still the problem even in the Kamanga era.
Yeah.
Unless they fix it.
I'll give you a disappointing factor. First, I'll give you an example of a place like Mwapemitia, for instance. Has it been replaced at Power Dynamos?
There's no system, no structure.
That's how you're supposed to be
Culture.
thinking. The culture. We had the number 9 like Mwapemiti.
Played for Brondby.
Yes.
Brondby.
Have we replaced such a
Jaga.
player as Power Dynamos?
Huh?
Zero. So as a nation, we are struggling. Then secondly, I'll give an example of the under 20 and under based on championship. That was a brilliant program by Wina Kalu. The one been under 20. But there was a problem when it came to player management. Players played the under 20 Africa Cup and they won it, and they went on to play in the World Cup and they played very well. 3 years later, you have a player sitting at Inkana for 3 years out for
Bench warmer, Nyondo.
and you are saying we are struggling as a nation for number 5. We had a brilliant number 5 in
Boston
the making.
Muchindo.
Boston
And
Muchindo.
that's the word those words in the making. Somehow somewhere it was lost.
Yeah, we failed
along
to
the way.
track and manage the play. Look at England right now. England is the under 20.
The under 20.
is
That's
what
just
is making England what it is today. They
Yes,
have
it
managed
won
the-
that the same Patson Dhaka World Cup.
The
It
only
was
player
England who
who's
won
not
that
doing
tournament.
Very well is Solanke.
Yeah.
Dominic Solanke.
Yes.
it's you know, gentlemen. It's all
So at the
about.
end of the day-
we need to ask.
FAS needs to have a deliberate policy where they actually
Investment.
get involved in the day-to-day playing of those talents. Okay, normally 25. Can you imagine from the 30 players that were there, we're only able to talk about 4 players.
Jim Mukea
Because
was
you know
coming up is nowhere.
the thing is
It's
what
so
it
sad.
what it is okay. For example, they came back from that tournament. These players went to this team. These players, but it's a kind of thing where we just know okay they are there at those teams, but
but
we
they
find half of them are
You-
sitting
you
on the
need to have-
bench.
There has to
at
be a
those
policy.
teams.
You
They are
need
not
to have a
being
desk at
utilized.
FAS that monitors players.
Not
Yes,
Not even-
exactly.
Look at Patson Dhaka. Patson Dhaka, there was no plan for him at Power Dynamos. They took him to Changa Rangers, which was not as good as Power Dynamos at the time. You get my point? But he had game time at Power Dynamos. Even Ngonga was taking it. He put something in them. And today, Patson Dhaka is a world-class player. He was... plan by Power. No, we'll just be wasting his time. They gave him to Changa Rangers who are using him week in, week out. Maintain fitness and structure in a player by giving him game time. Look at Nyondo will never be the same. No matter what we do, is a wasted talent.
FAS just needs a deliberate policy, especially when they're monitoring these young players.
Aliyefile team wa Tinkana, but whatever bench.
And that's why we had
Nyondo ngali ku Europe, Nyondo. That body.
yeah, and that's
Exactly.
why
Yes.
if you
It's
noticed
Koulibaly.
when we went for the under 23 AFCON, it was shambolic because 90% of that team was the one that played the World Cup, but it wasn't the same. Did you notice that?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Because
it
game
just
time
was not the same because the players
I
had
think-
not excelled. They hadn't moved
They hadn't gone beyond
from
what was-
if they had reached level 5, they hadn't gone to level 6.
Exactly.
They had probably gone back to level 3.
Or 3, 4.
You see, so it was just not the same, and you couldn't even blame Babeston. He called the squad, which was there, but they just couldn't play. You can't even it's the same team, sure.
Imagine goalkeeper from Mwene. We don't know where number again.
Who is the
After
goalkeeper?
Kenneth Mwene, we don't even know. We have just been gambling. No Sabata, no Sanjase, no
Zero.
Siame, no what.
After Sunzu, after Mbola,
After
After
Suzu
Kalaba.
Nikawaso.
Whatever graduation. Graduation. More especially game time. That's why this coach has insisted when a player is not having game time.
Period.
Takuli kuteyamu.
Chapo.
You don't have to feature in the national
Why should you?
team.
Why should you? Why should you?
Only
feature?
when you are very much active at your club.
Period.
Yeah.
And that is what has killed us. We're still able to feature players who are just
Clubless.
Clubless.
Yeah. So congratulations to the girls as well.
Big
I know we've already touched a bit on the girls. We wish them all the best
And they will
at the
meet,
AFCON.
They will meet countries like Burundi, who has
Yeah.
also qualified after beating Djibouti. Djibouti.
Yeah. I didn't give the top scorers in
Burundi.
Eden University. The top scorers in Eden University, Pedro Miguel is still
Yes.
leading. He's still on 14 goals. Andrew Piri from FC Muza,
Muza.
11. Christian Saide from Nchanga Rangers. Kalala Emmanuel from City of Lusaka. Also, those are on 10 goals.
Kasusu.
Andrew Piri is on 11. Josephat Kasusu from Lumwana is still firing for Lumwana.
Still around them.
8 goals. Wilson Sala from Gomes, 7 goals. Musonda Kapembwa on 6 goals from Napsa Stars.
Okay.
Yeah. Then Friday Samu is still leading the top scorers for
They haven't
the Premier
included
League
one player here on the 6 goals from Mufulira Wanderers.
from Flava Andres.
Yeah.
As
Sorry, my Chris. Sorry.
No, they've
Apologies,
left him out.
apologies.
okay, so Jimmy, actually, okay, I've got. Let me check. I've got the full. Okay.
Because we interviewed them last week and they gave us the thing.
Okay, actually, the update. Okay, there's Josephat Kasusu is on 8 goals. Wilson Sala Gomes 7. Clive Vieta Kito United 7. Kapembwa Msonda 7. Mandra Mulea FC Muza 6. George Kalunga Mufulira Wanderers 6.
Yeah.
There you go. Fezi Chibandika from Lumwana also 6. Angel Lubamba from City of Lusaka went to Nchanga Rangers 5. Kelvin Mwanza FC Muza 5. Kelvin Shamujopa Quattro 5. Luka Banda Napsa 5. Joseph Mumbi Mufulira Wanderers 5.
And
Charles Katongo Kito United 5.
Yeah, I've forgotten the.
All right. So, like we said, a big congratulations to the ladies. We pray that they do well. Joseph Sabobo Banda, we've touched that as well.
Yeah.
For him, I'm also praying that he does well. It will be sad if they send him back. He's an extraordinary talent. He by extraordinary, way above average. So I hope what they are looking for is what
Even if you don't
what
have a
they
plan
would
for him,
take.
I'm talking about his program at least.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
They
But
develop the talent.
I just hope they see
Because
something.
Ngaweda kuno futi.
For me, Arthur, it's just the exposure. As long as it's that side, there will be other teams who'll be interested to
Yeah.
see, and that's what we need.
Yes. Other news. There was a letter by football administrator Ricky Mamfunda requesting for a setting up of an independent inquiry into the alleged non-payment of allowances, bonuses to the Zambia national team AFCON 2012 winning players. Should I read the letter? Or maybe let me read it quickly and then you can comment what you think on setting up of a commission of inquiry. He says, "Sir, in the last few weeks we have noted with concern allegations coming from a number of former Zambia national team players alleging that the Football Association of Zambia may not have paid some players their winning allowances, bonuses after winning the AFCON 2012. In view of the foregoing, we feel duty bound to call upon your organization to set up an independent inquiry to probe these allegations. Sir, your organization, being the mother body of all sports disciplines in the country, is mandated to ensure that all sports associations acted professionally and transparently in the way they run their particular associations. The current blame game we are witnessing between ex-Chipolopolo players, ex-FAS officials, and current FAS officials is not healthy for the development of our beautiful game. Sir, in the same vein, we call upon your good office to further probe the alleged non-payment of match organizing fees to individuals who were assigned various tasks by the Football Association of Zambia during the 2017 AFCON Under-20 tournament that was hosted by Zambia. We pray that your swift intervention will bring closure to this matter so that we can all concentrate on building our national football team.
Quite a long letter written by Ricky to the National Sports Council. One, we are talking about record keeping. That is point number one. Point number two, they claim that there was a saver which was stolen at one point. Are we saying that information was in that saver? We don't know. I think FAZ will come up with an answer or answers to all these queries, and the National Sports Council will lay it bare in terms of, one, the players were playing for the nation, and government had an obligation to pay those players. But what they are talking about now is the prize money from the trophy. But from the government side, the players were paid all their allowances. But what is in contention
the prize money
is the prize money. But record keeping.
So the issue is FAZ, not government.
No, it's FAZ.
it's fast.
It's FAZ. That he's written to the National Sports Council. Government will give a side of a position. Then FAZ also should come up with, so that this issue
Can be buried.
is put to rest. But on the government side,
You know, that's why now we greatly understand their bad performance at the next AFCON after the 2013 AFCON. We understand that's why people could not put in anything. They were actually aggrieved.
They were.
And it was taken
like
us
they were half playing under protest.
Yeah, they were just playing under protest, in short. Because it didn't make sense.
How?
1 year later,
Exactly.
The champions of Africa.
It was about four, six,
And
six
it was
months.
almost basically the same 95% same team.
Same team.
8 months later,
And against Ethiopia, we struggled.
we drew. In that
We
game.
drew
Yeah, but
against
we
Ethiopia.
struggled. We struggled.
The same African champions. It was the first game, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to hear from FAZ that they state their position in such a very short period of time, so that this thing should be put to bed, and we move on. We start focusing on other things, because we you know what usually happens when you've got these issues. You start thinking of the current national team players, also them. What goes in their mind?
It
What
will
are they
get to their
thinking?
heads now.
They're thinking, oh, abata baba peri kanshi na drama. Ifuna ngutuinga wina na ifwe kanshi kutukwa ma problem. The only difference is it's a different regime, isn't it? But anything is possible.
so who's supposed to comment? Tim Kalu?
I think
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
they
they're
need
ones on
to
the spot.
clarify
They need to
Yes.
clarify.
Yes.
what
If you
happened
paid
and
it.
what they
Yes.
did. Yeah.
What happened?
They need
What
to
they
clarify.
paid out, what they didn't pay
But
out.
they didn't pay out.
Yeah,
exactly. Spot on, Pius.
So why are they quiet?
No, they
No,
will set their position.
I think they need to be summoned to do the same. That's why I think this letter is out, so that the Sports Council can consider setting up a commission of inquiry. I think this one has got nothing to do with FIFA or whatever. So I think it's in order.
It's an internal issue.
It's an internal
Very
issue.
much
It's
internal.
with regarding money, which was dispersed or not dispersed. So, looking at moving on, I think Zambians who are playing abroad. Rally Bwalia, he was not in the traveling party for Simba when they went to play in Niger against USGN over the weekend. But he played last weekend for Tipi Mazembe, also in the CAF Confederation Cup. They lost 2-0 to El Masri. He played 90 minutes. Kabasochongo didn't travel. He's injured. Mamelodi Sundowns, Kennedy Mwene was also on the bench in the CAF Champions League away draw to El Marik. In England, Patson Daka, he started for Leicester City. And He played 73 minutes in the away loss to Wolves. Leicester City not doing well. Brighton, Enoch Mwepu still injured. Fashion Sakala, he only came on in the 58th minute for Rangers over the weekend against Dundee United. Now, do you feel, I've been watching Patson of late, do you think he's taking his, because Vardy will be back anytime.
Vardy will be back.
Do you think he's taking his opportunity well? Because he doesn't seem to be firing on all cylinders, and sometimes he's going long periods in the game with nothing happening.
I think it's a little bit worrying for a striker to go out there for Leicester without an impact. He's supposed to be carving a name for himself by now, but personally I would say his positioning has not been spot on. He has kept on chasing where the ball is, and in the end tiring up himself. He has to improve in terms of his positioning in the box. If you look at the goal which Lukman scored in that game, should have gone to Patson Daka, but he was slightly behind. Slightly behind. So his undoing mostly has to do with his positioning, and he's failing to seize this opportunity. Daka will be back soon. He's a young player. He's learning, but he needs to seize this opportunity. Opportunities come, and you need to utilize those opportunities. For Daka, slightly worrying on my part. Most especially, he's a striker.
How come he's able to score in the Europa and in the league is struggling?
The Europa is in the conference.
The standard of play is not
as good.
I've noticed something very different every time I've been watching Patson, and I know you will probably differ with me, because I recorded and watch this game, especially the way Patton is playing. Yes. What I've seen from Patton is the key players.
They're not passing to him.
They're not passing to him. There are those critical
moments. That Minamino issue is still there.
Those are critical moments.
I won't lie. I've also seen that.
Minamino issue is still there.
I've seen those critical moments at first,
where he's open, but he's not being given the ball.
But him is not selfish. Every time he gets the ball, he would rather pass to, even when he needs to shoot, he would rather pass to Madison, Lukman, and the rest.
In terms of percentage,
as a player, he needs just to take it upon himself and says, "Look, my job is to score."
Pastor Chris, in terms of percentage, on that claim, in terms of players not passing to Patson, I would give it at 25%. It has not happened all the time, but I've noticed that as well. There are times when he's in a clear position, and the Leicester players take the ball somewhere else. But it hasn't been always. But he needs to come into the game as well.
You know, one
he was bought for 23 million.
Yeah, you know,
million pounds.
You know, one point that you've
big money, my friend.
One point that I agree with you mostly is his positioning. He's out of position most of the times, and it's like he's chasing all the time. You find him chasing, and you can't score like that, especially in the English Premier League. You can't.
That's why it is called a team. It's teamwork. You can't be chasing where the ball is. You're running around. In the end, he gets tired. But I agree with you in terms of that percentage. In terms of him being given through balls killer. That's why I've given you one example of Lukman. That goal which Lukman scored. Patson was supposed to be heavily involved, but he was just
slightly off.
Slightly
behind.
He needs to work on small things. He's a young player, but you know, competition in Europe is very, very high.
It's brutal.
He needs to seize this opportunity. Look at Dennis for Nigeria, playing for, is it Watford?
Yeah.
He's seizing his opportunity.
Seizing the moment,
Yes, scoring goals, getting involved. You know, that stage where Patson is a big stage. There are more players who wants to get into the EPL.
Exactly.
Those are chances which come in a lifetime. Ask Freddie Mwida Senior. 1968, they were playing for
Aston Villa.
It's not a small stage.
It's not a small stage, no.
Patso needs
Ement
to seize this
Kapengwe.
opportunity.
Yeah, he needs to seize this opportunity.
This
That's my feeling, because there are many people knocking on the door. Then Ignacio, he seems to be. What I'm happy about, one of the biggest positive is he was when I saw him first start the season, he was number 4, number 5 in the pecking order. Now he's number 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
After Vardy.
The ratings are
Now with Vardy out, automatically he's the number 1 striker. He's the first person on the team sheet in front when you talk about the striking force.
Yeah.
You know, so being the first person on the team sheet, though there's pressure on you, you need to take your opportunity as it comes.
He needs to start scoring in the Premier, in the league.
Yes, exactly.
The good part is that when it comes to Europa, he always scores, which is a very big positive for him.
Yeah,
it gives him, it drives him.
That's a consolation.
Yes, exactly.
That consolation is very good.
Brandon Rogers gets, because if he wasn't scoring in the conference thing, that would be a very big worry.
Yeah. All right, so I think we can open the phone lines. We've talked a lot today, so we can open the phone lines and see who's out there to chat. Let's see if this is famous. Good evening, caller.
Nice one.
Hello, Papaya.
Nachishiba.
Octopus Pius.
Juju.
Juju.
Ati ni Juju.
Juju.
Famous.
Last week Nkonde match performance yabwelela panchi ya kutuma.
Performance yabwelela panchi ya kutuma.
Mwansanje batirero mwa kokolo okuba number 1. So at least na picking.
And I'm picking. Please go ahead, man.
Baasana walanda ya Juju nishi nani kanesi. Muslimaini. Alo ba paya squad wale ndio akimpera kwa namba ya kufulevolo na mwewa ni 021 ine na mpero lwala ndati ndeshe itaira ndikwali baisho mubompya o namba chao ni ine mune
ni ine
fona mwevele kukwisa kuli bola ba players nga mwamona itwatere na Zlesco ine mkumona kwanjia tse kwati kwa fanumba mumamba kwati ve mutamfye nchito ezinowe munga vika bazo sate chimwemwe rona bwali akasonde pantu abalindira okubambisha chimwemwe nga mwamuna ali n'ekifuusi kya ku Africa Cup elo bazo sate na bwali akasonde takwaba player wako batika muferio nsafu mapatenti ibola balindira okubambisha munando kwa squad wounded nomba ile namwe kwati kwafuirisha nyumba mumambati ve mutanzi enchito nefuna imwene ino elo imachanda baasa chachine bazo lwaisa kunkano makupawa ajitako improve elo ine bazo ngana lole shangali muchibanza ala moneka kwati afyalirwa kunkana nangu nayi mini nakaso ala moneka serwa nkano mubiri tamoneka kuno kumoneka ati hapo na kupawa ngadero lesha inezo amoneka fenikala mpa bazo era okwisa kuri zanako yalusa home ground kwati ba paya steke bati kumkonde mawe yalusa home ground kwati bati chetekero ine na chikwata pali okobale chikwanka bati mwena kumala paranya tapali okobale takwaba kurusa home ground nga muri ma group stage na pusha na tote
Totela famous 0212222877. That's the number to call, or 0965000877. Good evening, caller. Hello.
Good evening, panel.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
This is Rodrigo BM from Chambishi.
Please go ahead.
Yes. Congratulations to the women team. At least they've done us proud. And I want to say, let the men's team also emulate the same. But
Yes.
Now, adamant. I think when but ndande kufesi pari juju. Hello.
Hello, please go ahead.
Juju ilavumba. If you remember, and according to Nangtetori after Chinkafwana yo, there was time where Zambia wale tena wa Zaire atare mona masima na naive. It was for
folk tales.
the DRC. They want that. So it's only that if we to the paper, but it can't work against a team that's crazy. And I think also there is also psyching that is there. So it's a two-way thing. Thank you.
Thank you. 0212222877. That's the number to call. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Pius.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
I am speaking to Mr. BM.
BM, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pius. First of all, nalabaira kuri bore hii twali kwa kitobe abantu amabwino mba twali bweramu, otherwise twalisho kwa sana pali bora because bora yabachambishi na bakonkora ili abapayasi ngamwalolesha sana babose babakunshi olongo kwisabula bena babachambishi bena bambisha ba midfield abengi mu midfield bora babula bayikala kunu ata mwana ayikala bora kunu machinshi bora ila bora bali ngere kya open game na bakonkora so that basenga 3 points kuri na bakonkora bapoka 3 points ako bali ani kuisa bachambishi. That's why ngamaweza sana abachambishe otherwise open eye for mwanjiri because yetimurusa kuri konkora namba mwarusa kuri konkora do you expect to kwina kuri bagri yangi kunani kane kuchoma yeti vibombe chao so otherwise nangu is too early but me I'm just to give up maybe barabo ya muwano mwine tukale sambira maskuru awe na maede because very 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 bad indeed. And then coming to the Zanaco, otherwise the Zanaco na bena bale tumwenesha mofe. Bale tumwenesha mofe Mr. Pius abantu ama timu ya represent ama country yo bale tumwenesha mo very very bad indeed. Because takwa about 2 games 0 points. Nikushoko muleya. Oba matimu yose baba na baku mu North America, North Africa ku. Ni mwa sepa maarab. Mulevile okusepa maarabu awo mu do you expect kugira kusepa maarabu kwawe keti kibomezi so otherwise ayina matimu nangu niba Zesco bene nangu niba Green Eagles bene nangu niba banani kane ba Red Jalos tapale kumakaya mukustara timama nakati banaba bomba mwino sana season hii but kwa Cup Confederation na Champions League la bis tapale kubenga tefili. So otherwise, bora ya mzande hali wera mpanshi sana ati. Ngamaweke sana Friday samu hali ya South Africa kule. Bachara topinga magoli. Ngabashara nishi basai. Bora yali wera Mzambia. Pipi topwezi tapa yale tuwafwa. Coca-Cola Cup yale tuwafwa. But nomba no samule that after na ina abantu abali abantu ama timu nzio mwinga ya Mzambia. Apoze kwa mano kupange timu apoze kwa mano sasa jabe ama nanikali ama academy hapo apoze kwa mano kama academy otherwise pali vile bombe kama Zambia kuli bora.
Thank you Abi.
And then yes and then my pick of the week Manchester United losing to Tottenham. Thank you so much to give us the green light so that you can win the league for Liverpool. And then look of the week, Liverpool versus Chelsea, Carabao Cup. Wow, wapya baisha Chelsea wa Liverpool. Thank you so much, Mr. Pius.
Thank you, BM. 0212222877. Good evening, caller.
Hello, good evening, Pius.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
This is Nyambe from Solwezi.
Nyambe, please go ahead.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. First thing, let's congratulate the women or the girls. I think they are doing us proud. As we can see, national team, yes, we are not qualifying to Africa Cup, to AFCON, but at least them, they are trying to give us a glimpse of hope, so that at least we are represented in the continent or on the continent. Even even in the world. Coming back to our league, I think our league is doing fine. Division 1, I can see Division 1, Lumwana Trident, Lumwana they are determined to come back to Premier League, and they look like Trident will definitely lose, whatever the case, even though now they have roped on the head coach for Quattro Karumbira now is the assistant to Trident. It won't help much because Lumwana are really wounded and they want to do something. They want to go back to Premier League so that the Northwestern Province we can have two teams as the normal way of playing in the Premier League. Then coming to the league, Papayas, I think for me, from the way I'm looking at it, Green Eagles, Chambishi, Forest Rangers, Red Arrows, Zesco, Green Eagles. The way I'm looking at it, Green Eagles definitely they will win. Though there is a possibility, though we are saying Green Eagles will just do it there and then, but Chambishi also may try to do to make life difficult for Green Eagles, but Green Eagles will win. And if Green Eagles win, and then Forest Rangers are very difficult to beat even at home. If Red Arrows lose or draw against the Forest Rangers, and Zesco wins Green Eagles, I can assure you now the top 4 or the top 3, the title will be among the 3 teams. And it will be Red Arrows 47 if they draw, then Green Eagles 45 and Zesco 44. This is how it will be. Among these 3, that's where the champion will come in. But on number 4, I see Nkana or Buticon, but not Power. But Nkana or Buticon, I don't trust the Green Buffaloes from the time they were, even though they are saying, no, they have come back, they are coming back, but I don't see them being in top 4. We will see how the games pan out. But this is what I'm looking at it going into this week. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Wanyambe. 0212-222-877-0965-000-877. Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Who am I speaking to?
This is Tuse Casimiro from Kitwe.
Please go ahead, Casimiro.
Yes. I just want to highlight 3 points there. The first one is concerning Zanaco in CAF Cup. If you look at Zanaco, it doesn't look like a team which is competing. They are playing these games like they are playing just a normal friendly game. They lack the aggressiveness. The second one, if you look at the teams which are playing Cup, Confederation Cup or the league, the Champions League, these teams have reinforced. They've got mature players who can compete at that highest level. One mistake which I've seen we made as Zambians in terms of our league was to get away with foreign players very quick. We did not do it gradual. As a result, there is that big gap between us and those North and West and some East African teams. Then the third one, by Patson Daka. Patson Daka needs to be a bit selfish. That's top league. A good striker, sometimes you need to be selfish to finish. Again, if you look at Luke Shaw, the way he plays, there are times where he denies Patson through balls where Patson is in a good position. Why? Because he wants to make a mark. As a top man, you can play well, create as many chances as possible, but if you do not score, they'll say you are not performing. I end there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. 0212-222-877. Good evening, caller.
Hello, Papa.
Hello. Who am I speaking to?
I'm Augustine Kunda from Eastern.
Well, Augustine, please go ahead.
For the first time, very happy with this program. Getting me, yeah.
Yes, perfect.
When my worry concern is to Zanaco. The quality team, this team, no one say more pass up, but I'm a prayer, but without know what you are representing the country, it's true. How can you lose the home game? Which means we Safari Zambia and football to other side. The result people they are saying our better than others. Some these coaches and some these players, they are not serious. Now become small child coach, bash, what a boy to it. People are spending a lot of money without concentrating to know what I want to put them to fight for. I want to pay, I want to because of the same thing. So we need to be serious if we want to move forward to this our Zambian. Otherwise, it's going to Rwanda. Nita kuitimule tuamkana na vile kwa ile timu ya kwa ndio ya wina koma ndio ya timu ilisha ilikonka nyepo hivi two games or 3 games continuously. Kula bawale tikusha kikenga kama mtana wakati wa namba twala ishimesha. So otherwise siepo ikapote kwa maana. Kwa hiyo mbitondana mapana tulisimama. Mkatabu bati watu hapo. So otherwise natokera sana thanks for this program and continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Papa. Mabomba sha.
Not Bomba Febwino.
For power support, first of all. Waliafa kwa ni boko watwalila kwetenti. Festival bomfie kwetenti. You know, this season tibalo kweli wale rosha. Hello. Wali watwalila kona majaja. Kaichi wasacha weti ya nyajaji area. There's no way tamba bwala paka wane chi ajaji area. Sote ko chimpompo kumutoto wakule polo. Good person, Doc. Wali tawali fwale batu na lengisha magozi. Nina alitamba kwa ngrimu za teya. Ule namba na nita kwa tafida. Just like baraba polisi wa siwa chande pali person, Doc. Kwa tia I second this opinion ya kwa tafule fya kwa awa selfish. Because namba na inafai kwa tafida. Lezo namba na inalifuma kunaini. Alisa mkula star fist. Kwete yengisha magozi. So abalama guys balokumani bashani kila sonse siralanga tibala ba selfish. Then kuma Zambia ni team 9 players. Players afuira kwata Kalia nkateko outside South Africa. Not don't say South Africa but Tanzania pashani. Na attitude ya guys ya players ya Zambia. Instead of akomboka ekunganda malasa nga tukulea 24 hours alikunanya leno wachumi nkachinga lutukunga vinshi. Do you think that player can perform when it comes for a real game? Gama yakusha pasi kwa ikusikula bakalia de. Yapamo mwana oranda wenzati I want to be a security man. Wachafa doctor na shani because walishatimu alisom. Not until time ya Afrika kwa kubomba. So a player na nafanya start dimaya. Nkaete yako na nikuipia, nkaete yako na niku fidai kula liga. Not you of South Africa, passion. So attitude ya players za Mzambia na ile contribute kwa team tuikwata. There is no way mkwata for player season imo. Aingisha magoals this season, next season mkomfana talala. Nishini player washani. Otherwise Nikondranze sukuba ni swale ni bane babesu. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen, let's get back to the football. This is the quietest I've had in Nkana fans.
Super quiet.
Not even one Nkana fan today.
But I'll tell you something past about Nkana. If you look at the last 3 games against Ka Warriors, Mwapusukeni. Against Indeni, Mwapusukeni. So they shouldn't be disappointed in that result. They have not had a good the last 3. I don't know. Try and review the last 4 games. We'll see.
But they've played well in spells. Even against Zesco in spells, they tried.
No, they've been getting points, 3 points, which is very important. But playing well.
Lose, win, draw.
So
yeah. All right, a few messages from Facebook. This one says, God bless you, Mwebantu Imwe, best football analyst in the universe, Slim Daddy Pankana East. This one says, Vap. This is from Spencer, yes, Spencer Slim Daddy Sinyangwe. Chongo Chipenka says, Vapi, I'm asking for a Man U jersey. Shiny Vachongo. Brighton go somewhere. He says, where is Danny today? Anyway, our moderator Namu Popoka. I'm watching live from Solwezi. Thank you. This one says, I'm happy the guys for beating the noisy neighbors in Usakire. Ki. Navaseka. Yeah, so those are just some of the few messages. Back to the football, starting with the English Premier League. The title race. Can we say it's been blown wide open by Tottenham beating Man City over the weekend? Because 6 points separate Man City and Liverpool have a game in hand. And also they've also got a game to play Man City. So at one point, all things being equal, they could be on the same number of points.
Because
it will just be a goal difference issue. But all things being equal,
I think this is
the title race back on.
The title is back on, yes. And football is supposed to have a lot of talking points instead of the way it was coming out a few weeks ago when Man City were almost running away with it. But that defeat at the hands of Tottenham has blown the race wide open once again. They'll go up to games up to number 38. Still some more games to go, but it makes the league more interesting talking points. Liverpool are playing Leeds, and Manchester City needs to play Manchester United at one point. They need to play Liverpool at one point. So, wide open, very much wide open. And Liverpool need to continuously win their matches. The Leeds game is the most recent one, which they are playing in a few minutes' time.
10 minutes.
10 minutes
Yes.
time. They need to win that and narrow the gap to 3 points. Then in April on the 6th, they will come up face to face with Man City, where the whole world will be brought to a standstill. All eyes will be at the Etihad. But before that, other results will keep changing the face of the table. But very interesting scenario.
Today's Leeds against Liverpool is a very big. It's like the what's the celebrate Varos. If you hit 3 points there, it's a very important 3 points.
Yes, yeah. This one is
you know, Pass. Let me just say something.
Because teams like that, if you're surprised, Liverpool draw or even a loss.
I agree.
Yeah,
with you.
I agree with Arthur because if there's one interesting league in the world, it's the English Premier League. I say that because you see, you can actually even conclude and say, okay, these guys have already run away with it, like we did earlier on. But I'll just take you back. When you're watching these games, the English Premier League games, you find that it's not over until the fat lady sings. You find that a team may be leading by 2-0. That's the only league that you can find whereby tables are turned. A team is leading by 2-0, and in extra time, 5 minutes added, the other team scores. So it's a very unpredictable league, and that's the thing that makes it exciting and makes it the most interesting league in the world.
And if anything, Leeds, they are in danger of being relegated. Rafinha
After
not playing too well. Their coach is under fire. Is it Beyonce? Yeah. Under fire. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. Personally, I support Liverpool.
Current form.
But it's a huge game. That I can assure you.
Lots riding on this game.
Yes, and Liverpool without Jota, without Firmino.
Firmino.
They're a little bit short in terms of upfront. I only hope that Diaz
but they still deliver.
Diaz can play a leading role in this game.
I think
He makes the difference. Actually, he will make a difference. He's a brilliant player.
Brilliant
I think
accusation.
Klopp is good when it comes to player talent identification.
His nickname is called the talent searcher. That's his nickname.
I don't know. I don't think we don't know whether I've mentioned this
really.
before on this show, or I don't know whether it was last week or I was talking with someone. On that one, when you compare the kind of money Manchester United have spent, for example, and Liverpool are buying players 40. Like Mane, I think was 40.
Yes.
Or was it Salah, which was 40, then Mane 35.
Mane 35.
They just buy 30, 40. It's only Van Dijk. They spent a lot of money.
Yes.
But it's just like this latest signing was only 40, isn't it?
40.
Yes. But what he brings out of these players. Because even when you look at players like Jordan Henderson, I get shocked sometimes the way he plays. You know? He can make people like Thiago sit on the bench. World class players.
Jordan Henderson was an average player, remember? At one time. Huh? But just what he brings is
the talent set.
I used to feel jittery when Manu is playing Liverpool and Wijnaldum is in the team.
Oh, yeah.
You know, players like that. You know? And I mean, he knows how to get the best out of the players. You know, I was even looking at... that's where I was looking at coaching and how key it is on the success of a team. Even when you compare Man United, for example, with Man City, you know that if you look at squad-wise, the teams are not far off.
No.
Because if you look at the players Man City are using, Foden, Gundogan, Rodri, Bernardo Silva. Now you look on the other side. There's Bruno Fernandes, Pogba, Ronaldo, Sancho. Really, you have seen one team is far ahead of the others.
Exactly.
Why? You know. So even in Zambia, we need to learn the same dynamics. Sometimes the coach is key. And I mean, if Klopp was coaching a Zambian team and he started the way he started, he would have been fired long time ago. But they gave him chance.
4 years.
And look at what has happened. And he's just brought brilliance out of Liverpool.
Anyway, it's like Harrison Temba at Maite. Because, I mean, we haven't fired him. We've stayed with him for a long time now. Division 1, and he's bringing us into Premier Division.
Also Burnley, Tottenham.
Yes.
And Watford, Crystal Palace.
Still
0-0.
Yes. And then we can jump to La Liga. In La Liga, we are looking at Barcelona. Is it Vachali? Is it a resurgence? Very convincing win over Valencia over the weekend.
Very convincing win, and they seem to have brought in experienced players who are actually changing under a new formation. Aubameyang scoring
a
hat-trick. Very good for him, trying to revive his fortunes. He had a brilliant game. We expected Valencia to offer more resistance, but they were overrun by Barcelona with life without Messi.
Chris, do you see Sevilla challenging Real Madrid? 6 points difference. Challenging Real Madrid right up to the end.
They could challenge, because they're not a side which you could actually write off Sevilla. For me, Real Madrid. I don't want to be harsh on Badani. You expect anything from them, but like I've actually said, it's tight. It's very tight to say.
I've noticed, Arthur, without Benzema, they don't seem to be Real Madrid. They don't seem to be real. It's just Madrid.
No, but Benzema is brilliant. No, he's brilliant talent. I watched him against when they played in France.
Yes,
he's brilliant talent. He's got skill actually. I've just been following him closely. Skill he's a brilliant player, and I think leadership as well is also another advantage.
He
pushes them a lot.
Yeah.
It pushes him a lot. He's
right now we can safely say he's the leader.
Yeah, they had sidelined him at one point, but you see, that's what happens when you give the captain armband to somebody who you think has got it, and they never used to see that in him. And it's brought out the best in him.
Yeah. And his injury levels are very low. He rarely gets injured. So
though he's been consistent. Though he's coming out of one now, but doesn't been a long term.
No, 2 weeks, 1 week.
Yeah,
he doesn't stay over 2 months, 3 months. No.
Hazard.
Champions League football.
Champions League football tonight.
Atletico Madrid.
And the Manchester United. What are you viewing tonight? Might come out of that, Bachali?
It's a pity that behind the scenes there is little talk about the captaincy of Maguire, but I think they have dispelled that. They're saying that there's unity
in the squad.
It's a tricky encounter because Atletico Madrid with Diego Simeone has been there for 11 years.
They have revived.
And they are trying to give it a go after being dispatched by Liverpool at one point. So another opportunity for Man U. They have been underfiring with Jadon Sancho, bought for many millions, but still underperforming. I hope that they can step up and play as a team, not as individuals.
They've never convinced.
But my personal view is that they shouldn't have brought in Ronaldo. He has brought a bit of confusion,
turbulence
in their team. Getting about 480,000
and not delivering at
all.
Not
delivering. So he has brought disunity in the team. Then I know you're wearing a
but he's the top scorer. Huh?
But he's the one who's been banging goals.
He's the one who's banging in the goals.
Quality goals.
Quality goals. It's not about goals. My goals in my goals. You said it's the goal.
Bolan is the goal.
You one was saying it.
Most of the goals that he has scored, I've not been critical.
It's
without him, when it mattered, Man U would not even be in the Champions League.
They will not be in the Champions.
When it mattered the most, he failed the penalty.
But those are just sour grapes. But Liverpool
Messi also missed.
Yeah, but there was a compensation by Mbappe. You get my point. But you know what we're saying in a nutshell. Sorry about the light moment. In a nutshell, for £400,000 a week, 480, he needs to do more.
Yes.
In short,
that's a lot to do.
And like Chris was saying, he's a very big minus to other lads who are not able to deliver.
But also,
who are playing better than him rather.
But one thing, there is discontent in their camp. But one thing you need to understand also age.
So
age has caught up with them.
They need to explain to
it's not the same league as in Italy. It's different. That's one thing you also need to know.
But Chris, what they needed to do was they needed to explain to the players that, okay, who is that? Talk about Mpela 480, not because they'll be delivering on the pitch. He's going to be making us money behind the scenes. He's more as a business.
But he still got it.
No, he still got it.
He still got it.
He still has it. Talent is talent, pass. You can never run. But if you look at the amount of money they're paying him and what he's giving them in return, is.
But if you're good, you're good.
He's run out. So the other game this evening, about Chris, Ajax versus Benfica. It's actually Benfica versus Ajax. What to expect?
Oh, explosive. I would actually yeah, very explosive, and it will be an open game. So I expect Ajax to have a slight edge over Benfica.
It was yesterday. I was very disappointed just as we close off the show. Juventus versus Villarreal. Juventus leading 1-0 until the 63rd minute. That goal which they conceded by Juventus, sure. That defending, as if it's African football, sure.
That is football, but that is football. That is
Zambian football.
Zambian football.
Zambian football.
Totally unmarked, the guy. It's like all the defenders followed the ball one side and you leave somebody unmarked. I was like so shocked. Is this defending?
I saw that.
Yeah.
You know?
And truth be told, the second leg will be like a cup final when the two teams meet, because UEFA has done away with the away goal.
Yeah.
So it is all square, and Villarreal will give it a go. Though last time on the same platform, I gave Juventus an edge. I'll still give Juventus an edge, but the goal they conceded was too soft.
Very soft.
Yes.
Very soft goal.
And your view on...
And there was one quick, the quickest goal.
Yes, Vlahovic.
32 seconds. 32 seconds.
He's a very good buy. He's been a revelation at Juventus.
New signee. 32 seconds.
Yeah.
The quickest goal in the Champions League.
Dusan Vlahovic, very good striker.
Yes.
So they've done some very good business for Juve.
Juve
is actually.
And what is your view on the away goal? Do you think it, because we in Africa we haven't done away with it? Good thing? Will it bring more entertainment, value, that kind of thing?
In past, it was more exciting with the away goal. The football was more exciting with the away goal, because teams would actually put in a lot just to get that away goal. The punch was more.
Now you can just hold out until you go and play at your home ground. Your view?
Personally, I agree with Arthur, but I think they looked at maybe the commercial aspect of the UEFA, whereby at times teams were just forcing in those away goals, and the tide would just change. You know, but now teams will be more cautious, and it has to be decided. I think the best teams should just win. The best teams should just win now. The away, it was a little bit cruel.
You know,
it was cruel.
The fairness was not really
very
on the
cruel.
return games.
Yes, return games.
Return games
it was cruel.
Unfair.
Very cruel. Should I
Even
say.
a better team can actually be put it
because you can imagine
the spirit of fairness was not there.
In
the spirit of fairness,
a team can force a 0-0 at your home. And then you go and do a 1-1 that side, and that team is
Look
out.
at Shipolopolo.
Yes, exactly what Shipolopolo did. They forced a 1-1.
In Zambia,
0-0.
Namibia played far much better
than Zambia,
than our girls. But their away goal rule is what has knocked out Namibia. They were playing in Soweto, by the way. And we have gone through, because of their away goal rule, is slightly cruel. Cruel.
It's not about winning anymore. Yeah.
Like
okay. So, Arthur, quick. Chelsea versus Liverpool Carabao Cup final. Who's winning?
No, current form Liverpool has got that one.
Current form Liverpool has got that one. Do you agree? The world champions, Charlie, against Liverpool.
Those that are betting, bet on Liverpool. If you bet on Chelsea, you lose your money.
Chris.
Bet on Chelsea. Don't bet on Liverpool. Bet on Chelsea. Chelsea will come to the party on this one. Those are the World Club champions Kwasila.
What other big game can I see over the weekend? Man City, Watford, Everton, Man City. Frank Lampard's Everton. But Chris, can they hold Man City?
No. Not with what I saw. I wasn't actually convinced. You know, Frank has to put in a lot. He has to put in a lot. He has to really do a lot of work at Everton. He really has to do a lot.
It's really a bad time for Leeds.
For Leeds.
Playing Man City. Today you play Liverpool. Over the weekend, Tottenham.
They are in for a torrid time.
They need prayers.
Yes.
They should have complained over the fixture.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming.
Yeah, but Pass, just one thing. Is it okay if we I said something that's slightly different from football, that we need to support our own Barbara our Catherine?
Since we are done with the football, yes. we can say Catherine Peary.
Yeah. Let us fill up the the government complex. And please, people, all roads lead to Chingola. There's a double header there. So let us fill up Gabita Stadium.
Very good games.
Green Eagles, Nchanga Rangers, Mighty Mfre Wanderers, Jumulo. Those are big games.
Power Dynamos up against Nkwazi. That's a big game.
Nkana versus Kansanshi.
Nkwazi spoilers.
And is this the first time this season Nkana and Power playing at the same time in the city?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It is. Yes, it's the first time.
There's a commitment on either side.
Both teams are playing on a Saturday.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the first time.
Okay. It's the first time.
To be divided.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming.
We saying hello to Joseph. He's a taxi driver by Pice. What's his
Cafe Latte.
No. Opposite the library. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And thank you,
Patami Feelers,
Lawrence Kamau. I got your letter, and I'm going to go through it nicely. Also acknowledging Latat Cafe, in Suez Emporium, and in Nkana East, best cakes in town if you need a cake, best snacks in town if you need snacks, best ice cream in town if you need ice cream. Thank you for being here, Bola.
Bola Ibaba.
Bola Nzigole. Bola Nzigole.
Man would be very upset today.
Bola Nzigole.
Bola Nzigole. Bola Ibaba.
Can kill you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.